Hello aspirants, welcome to Environment course by UPSC experts. This is class 16 of the course. Let's go to the class notes and start with class 16. See, now we'll be discussing about IUCN and IUCN category of division of species, and we'll be discussing about all the important species, right? Critically endangered, endangered and vulnerable species, and then we'll be discussing questions or UPSC previous year questions, and we'll discuss all the options, right? जैसे मान ले salt water crocodile mention किया, so we'll be discussing about salt water crocodile, right? In options say there is other options like say gangetic dolphin, right? We'll be discussing about them also, right? Everything comprehensively we'll be discussing. So species also we'll be covering all the important species. अब इससे ज्यादा बाहर नहीं आएगा, right? Mostly 95% of the species will be covered here, right? अब वो 5% भी है, वो हम cover भी नहीं कर सकते, right? So only those will be left out. You can solely rely on these things, right? See, first let's understand about IUCN, right? IUCN is International Union for Conservation of Nature. It is an international organization, that is an NGO. So it is the world's oldest global environmental organization. See, global level, right? Global environmental organization, world's ka oldest, that is first global environmental organization, established in 1948. Right? Objective is to conserve nature and accelerate the transition to sustainable development. Headquarter is in Glanz, Switzerland, right? IUCN, Glanz, Switzerland, right? Then membership has more than 1400 members. Has more than 1400 members, both government and civil society organizations. So 1400 members are what? Government and civil society organizations. दोनों है 1400 members, right? Both government and civil society organizations. Then India is a member of IUCN, right? So one thing we need to remember, it has 1400 members, both government and civil society organizations. Then every 4 years IUCN convenes IUCN World Conservation Congress to set the global conservation agenda, right? Then it is involved in data gathering, analysis, research, field projects, advocacy, lobbying, and education, right? IUCN is best known for compiling and publishing the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species, right? IUCN Red List of Threatened Species, which assesses the conservation status of species worldwide, right? Worldwide conservation status of the species को करती है IUCN Red List. We know जो भी critically endangered species है वो सब IUCN Red List में ही होता है, right? Then IUCN Red List of Threatened Species, also called as IUCN Red List, right, is founded in 1964. It is one of the most well-known objective assessment for classifying the status of ये important status of plants, animals and fungus. Other organisms में fungus. So इन तीनों को ये category में रखेगी, whether they are threatened with extinction, right? Critically endangered, endangered, extinct, right? Threatened, right? Data insufficient, all these things. So plants, animals and fungus, right? IUCN system uses a set of 5 quantitative criteria to assess the extinction risk of given species, right? They are one, the rate of population decline, the geographic range, whether the species already possesses a small population size, whether the species is very small or lives in a restricted area, whether the results of a quantitative analysis indicate a high probability of extinction in the wild. So these 5 IUCN will keep in mind and categorize the species, right? These things you can briefly go through. This one I picked up from some question asked in a test series, right? So now let's see categories under IUCN Red List, right? Under IUCN Red List they have 8 categories, right? So extinct in the wild, right? Then threatened के category में critically endangered, endangered and vulnerable. Then near threatened, least concern and data deficient, right? So ये category से, right? IUCN कोई भी animal है, say tiger है, right? it will be kept under. So tiger is endangered, right? जैसे one horn rhino is vulnerable, category में रखा जाएगा. So कोई भी animal है, they will be kept under these categories, right? So first let's understand each of these terms. See, extinct means no reasonable doubt that the last individual of the species has died, right? Examples. So some examples of recent extinctions include dodo of Mauritius, quagga of Africa, thylacine of Australia, stellar sea cow of Russia, and three subspecies of tigers, that is Bali tiger, Javan tiger, and Caspian tiger, right? ये सब extinct हुआ in past 3-4 centuries, right? See, these are mentioned in class 12 NCRT, right? Class 12 biology NCRT. So that makes these species important, right? So we need to remember dodo is from Mauritius, quagga is from Africa, South Africa में, right? Thylacine, it is also called as Tasmanian tiger, right? It is also called as Tasmanian tiger तो नहीं है, right? It is also called Tasmanian tiger, उसकी तरह दिखती है, right? So it is also called Tasmanian tiger, right? So, and then stellar sea cow of Russia. See, these four I'll be putting videos, so you can watch videos, right? You will get clarity and information regarding these things, right? So you can easily remember, right? That's why I am incorporating videos, right? So watch the videos.
Did you know that there was once a bird called the dodo? These flightless birds were once abundant on the island of Mauritius in the Indian Ocean, but they were so tasty that humans quickly wiped them out. The introduction of monkeys, pigs, and rats to the island also contributed to the dodo's extinction. These animals ate the dodo's eggs and young, which further reduced the population. The last dodo was killed in 1681, and the species is now extinct. The dodo is a reminder of the dangers of human overexploitation of natural resources. There used to be a zebra that was striped only on its front half. It was called the quagga, and it was hunted to extinction in the late 19th century. The quagga was actually the most common type of zebra in South Africa before it went extinct. Unfortunately, the quagga was hunted to extinction in the late 19th century. The main reason for its extinction was habitat loss, as well as hunting for its meat and hide. The last quagga died in a zoo in Amsterdam in 1883.
Did you know thylacine is also known as the Tasmanian tiger, which went extinct in 1936? But what led to its tragic disappearance? The main reason for its extinction is overhunting, habitat destruction, and government bounties sealed its fate. Benjamin Kama, the last of his kind, died in captivity. His extinction serves as a chilling reminder of how human actions can erase a species forever.
Meet the stellar sea cow, a gentle giant of the sea. Discovered in 1741 by explorer Georg Wilhelm Steller, this massive herbivore roamed the cold waters of the North Pacific. Sadly, within just 27 years of its discovery, the stellar sea cow was hunted to extinction. Why? Its slow-moving nature made it an easy target for hunters seeking its valuable meat and blubber. This tragic tale highlights the devastating impact humans can have on wildlife. The stellar sea cow serves as a stark reminder of the importance of conservation. Let's learn from history and protect our oceans.
Right? So you have watched the videos, right? So you now can easily remember these species and they are extinct. उनका countries भी याद करो, कई बार match the following भी दे सकता है, right? Then sometimes extinct, which of the following species extinct करके इनमें से दे सकते हैं, right? Then next is extinct in the wild. Extinct in the wild, that is known only to survive in captivity, cultivation, or well outside its natural range, right? Known only to survive in captivity, right? Cultivation or well outside its natural range, right? सिर्फ captivation में, right? या plant है तो cultivation में, और well outside its natural range. Natural range जैसे tiger है, right? मान ले extinct in wild means wild में नहीं है, कोई zoological park में, right? जैसे कोई plant है सिर्फ botanical garden में present है, right? That is extinct in wild. Wild में extinct है, right? But कई laboratory में, जू में, बोटानिकल गार्डन में अगर टेकन केयर में वो ग्रो कर रही है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एक्सटिंक्ट इन द वाइल्ड. देन क्रिटिकली एंडेंजर्ड इज फेसिंग एक्सट्रीमली हाई रिस्क ऑफ एक्सटिंक्शन इन द वाइल्ड. सो वाइल्ड में है बट क्रिटिकली हाई रिस्क है by extinct हो सकता है कभी भी, right? Then endangered, that is facing a very high risk of extinction in the wild. So it is extremely high risk, very high risk, right? थोड़ा फर्क है, right? So we'll study, you will get clarity. कौन सा species endangered है, कौन सा species critically endangered. Then vulnerable is facing high risk of extinction in the wild, right? So these all are comes under threatened category. ठीक है, कभी भी extinct हो सकता है, so that's why they are threatened, right? Their existence of the species are threatened. Then next is near threatened. Near threatened is close to qualifying or likely to qualify for a threatened category in the near future. So near future में कभी भी threatened में जा सकता है, that is critically endangered, endangered, right? Vulnerable उसमें जा सकता है. So that is near threatened, and least concern is population is stable enough that it is unlikely to face extinction in the near future. So that is least concern, right? Then data deficient is not enough information on abundance or distribution to estimate its risk of extinction. So data ही नहीं है, that is data deficient, right? Then prominent species we will be discussing with respect to each category. So first is critically endangered mammals. Critically endangered mammals. So critically endangered, right? Critically endangered, right? As per the IUCN list, right? So first is Namdapha flying squirrel. Namdapha flying squirrel. अब देखो, Namdapha flying squirrel comes from Namdapha National Park. Namdapha National Park is where? In Arunachal. So that means this flying squirrel will also be there in the Namdapha, that is in Arunachal, right? So let's study about it. See, missing for 42 years, Namdapha flying squirrel resurfaces in Arunachal Pradesh in Namdapha National Park. So we need to remember here also, Namdapha National Park is in Arunachal Pradesh, right? It is an important national park. Then the Namdapha flying squirrel is an arboreal species. Arboreal species is what? The species which mostly live on trees, right? Spending majority of life on trees. जैसे birds है, birds are what? Arboreal species, right? Mostly trees में रहती है या fly करती है, right? So जो भी species, जैसे ये Namdapha flying squirrels, they mostly spends their life in trees, right? Then nocturnal means they are active at night. Then IUCN status is critically endangered. देखो 42 years के लिए मिसिंग था बट रीसरफेस हुआ, मतलब वाइल्ड में थोड़ा प्रेजेंट है, राइट? कुछ स्पीसीज प्रेजेंट है बट एक्सटिंक्ट हो सकता है, सो दैट इज critically endangered. So under Wildlife Protection Act, they are put under Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act, that is higher protection of the species, right? Then these squirrels are not capable to fly like birds, bats, but they can glide between trees. अब देखो, ये actually misnomer है. Namdapha flying squirrel is a misnomer because they cannot fly, right? ऐसा पक्षियों की तरह नीचे से ऊपर तक नहीं उड़ सकता है. ये क्या करेंगे? से they live in evergreen forests, right? Evergreen forest में we have studied there is 60 meters का बड़े बड़े पेड़ भी है, right? So ये क्या करते हैं? Namdapha flying squirrels एक पेड़ से दूसरे पेड़ में ग्लाइड करेंगे, right? अपने पंखे टाइप वो खोल के they just glide, right? So let's watch a video. You will get clarity with respect to Namdapha flying squirrel, right?
Do you know that there is a rare squirrel species in India that can also fly? It has reappeared after 42 years in Namdapha National Park's Arunachal Pradesh. Yes, we are talking about Namdapha flying squirrel. So let's look into more details about it. It is an arboreal nocturnal flying squirrel endemic to Arunachal Pradesh. It is named so after the location where it is found, that is Namdapha National Park. These squirrels are not capable of flight like birds and bats, but they can glide between trees. They inhabit long Mesoaferia jungles, often on hill slopes in the catchment area of Dihing River in northeastern India. They are mainly herbivorous, so they eat fruit, nuts, and seeds. The conservation status on the IUCN Red List is critically endangered, whereas they are protected under the Wildlife Protection Act 1972.
So you have watched the video. So the Namdapha flying squirrel, they cannot fly, they glide, right? एक पेड़ से दूसरे पेड़ में they mostly live on trees, right? जैसे इधर है, ठीक है, सीधा ग्लाइड करेंगे, देन इधर है कोई और पेड़ पे ग्लाइड करेंगे, देन इस पेड़ में चढ़ेंगे, राइट? क्लाइंब करेंगे. स्क्विरल, आफ्टर ऑल इट इज ए स्क्विरल, राइट? देन दे अगेन ग्लाइड, राइट? देन ग्लाइड एक्सेट्रा, राइट? दे कैनॉट फ्लाई, they are not capable to fly like birds and bats, but they can glide between trees, and they are herbivores, so they eat fruits, nuts, and seeds, right? So next is Malabar civet. Malabar civet. Right. So Malabar civet also critically endangered. Right. Critically endangered. Right. So declared possibly extinct in 1978 but was rediscovered 9 years later in Western Ghats. So Malabar civet kaha hai? Western Ghats. We can remember it as the Malabar, Malabar coast, Malabar food, Kerala, Malabar restaurant, Kerala. So Kerala is in Western Ghats. So Malabar civet is also in Western Ghats. Right. It is a small dog-like carnivore species. So now let's look at the photo. Right. Malabar civet. You will get the pictorial memory of it. See, this is Malabar civet. Malabar civet. Malabar civet is small dog-like carnivore species. Dog-like carnivore species, right? And it is nocturnal. See, photos are also, they are taken in night time, right? So night time only they are active and they are elusive species. ठीक है, मतलब लोगों को दिखती नहीं है. They are very shy, right? जिसे बोल सकते हैं introvert, right? So elusive species. So that's why it is very difficult to see them, right? So rarely seen, evading capture, right? So then let's go to the notes, right? This is Malabar civet. ठीक है. So it is a nocturnal and elusive animal rarely seen, evading capture. IUCN status is critically endangered. Wildlife Protection Act is Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act, right? Then the next is pygmy hog. Next is pygmy hog. See, pygmy hog. See, it is the smallest and rarest species of wild pig in the world. See, pygmy hog is what? Wild pig. Wild pig and smallest and rarest species of wild pig in the world, right? It is one of the very few mammals. Pig is a mammal, right? Mammal kya hai? That also we'll be studying, right? It is one of the very few mammals that build its own home or nest with a roof throughout the year. So this is a very unique species, right? So let's look at the image. You can remember it better. See, this is pygmy hog. See, pygmy hog, small, very small wild pig, right? Very small wild pig. And see, this is the nest it is making, right? Shelter it is making with a roof, right? With a roof, right? That is the pygmy hog, smallest and rarest species of wild pig in the world, right? Build its own home or nest with a roof throughout the year, right? Okay. Then see, it is an indicator species as its presence reflects the health of its primary habitat, that is tall and wet grass. So it stays in areas where tall and wet grass is there, right? Tall and wet grass is there, right? उस एरियाज में. एंड ये इंडिकेटर स्पीसीज अगर ये है तो बोल रहे भाई द वेटलैंड इज वेरी हेल्दी, राइट? एंड इट प्रिफर्स रिलेटिवली अनडिस्टर्ब्ड टॉल टेराई ग्रासलैंड्स में हैबिटेट है, राइट? देन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन प्रीवियसली स्प्रेड अक्रॉस इंडिया, नेपाल एंड भूटान, राइट? नाउ ओनली फाउंड इन असम, मानस वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी एंड इट्स बफर रिजर्व. सो अभी ये सिर्फ असम में ही है. सो दैट्स वाई, मतलब बेसिकली वेरी फ्यू आर लेफ्ट, कभी भी एक्सटिंक्ट हो सकती है, राइट? सो इसीलिए सिर्फ असम में है, मानस में. सो कैटेगरी इज क्रिटिकली एंडेंजर्ड. सो क्रिटिकली एंडेंजर्ड protected under Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act. So these three we have discussed, three mammals. All three are very important. Pygmy hog, UPSC में already पूछा हुआ है, right? We will be discussed. Then Malabar civet and Namdapha flying squirrel, right? Three critically endangered mammals, right? Now let's see next, that is birds which are critically endangered. Birds which are critically endangered. First is Jordan's cursor, right? So let's look at the image, then we'll be discussing about it. See, this is the bird Jordan's cursor, right? Jordan's cursor, right? So let's go and study about it. See, Jordan's cursor, it is a nocturnal bird found only in northern part of state of Andhra Pradesh. Northern part of state of Andhra Pradesh. See, Andhra Pradesh का सिर्फ northern part में है. It is a flagship species for scrub jungle which is under extreme threat. So flagship species means for protection. जैसे flagship, जैसे tiger is flagship species of India, right? India को represent करती है, right? So similarly this also represents the scrub jungle, right? Scrub jungle of northern part of Andhra Pradesh, right? So this is again very important bird, right? The species was considered to be extinct until it was rediscovered in 1986, and the area of rediscovery was subsequently declared as Sri Lanka Maleshwara Wildlife Sanctuary. श्री लंका मलेश्वरा वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी ऑफ आंध्र प्रदेश, ठीक है, उसको डिक्लेयर किया जब ये फाइंड आउट किया, राइट? एक्सटिंक्ट है तो भाई मिला है तो उसको क्रिटिकली एंडेंजर्ड. सो क्रिटिकली एंडेंजर्ड, राइट? शेड्यूल 1 ऑफ वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट, ए स्पीसीज रिकवरी प्रोग्राम में भी कवर्ड है, राइट? वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग अबाउट स्पीसीज रिकवरी प्रोग्राम आल्सो, राइट? 22 स्पीसीज आर कवर्ड, राइट? इट इज देयर आल्सो. सो इट इज a bird which is critically endangered. Jordan's cursor. Jordan's cursor in Andhra Pradesh. Right? Then let's see next bird, that is white-bellied heron. White-bellied heron. Right? So it is a rare and elusive bird. Elusive means again दिखती नहीं है समाज लोगों को. It is like introvert bird, shy bird, right? Not visible often, right? It is second largest living species of heron, right? It is extremely shy to human presence. Extremely shy to human presence. It is plain gray in color except for the white belly part, right? So that's why see white-bellied heron, right? Color will be looking. It has a long neck, right? We'll see. It is one of the rarest birds in the world. At present, found only in Bhutan, Myanmar, and Arunachal Pradesh state of Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh state of India. So white-bellied heron is where? White-bellied heron is in Arunachal Pradesh, right? Then it is critically endangered. It is protected under Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act. Let's look at the image. See, this is white-bellied heron. See, if you see here belly is white, right? Rest color is different. So from this we get white-bellied heron name, right? So it is critically endangered. Right? Now let's see next, that is Siberian crane. Siberian crane again critically endangered, right? So Siberian crane, it is also known as Siberian white crane or the snow crane because it is very white in color, right? Siberian में से आती है, native to Siberian, right? ये India winters में आती है as a migratory bird, right? So Siberian white crane or the snow crane भी बोलते हैं because it is snow areas में रहती है और snow white color में रहती है, right? They are distinctive among cranes. Adults are nearly all snowy white except for their black primary feathers that are visible in flight. Let's look at the images, you will get clarity. See, this is Siberian crane. See, very white in color, right? They are flying and their feathers black, only visible when they fly. जब fly नहीं कर रहा है तो देखो it is completely white. So that is Siberian crane which is critically endangered, right? अब critically endangered क्यों है, क्या है, that we will be discussing. See, Siberian crane habitat is Siberia and Russia. में, right? Then there are three groups based on their migration. There is eastern group migrates from eastern Siberia to China जाएगा. जैसे विंटर आते हैं, these are migratory species, right? So अब विंटर में साइबेरिया एंड रशिया में कोल्ड टेम्परेचर से उधर नहीं रह सकते. So in winters they migrate. The eastern group migrates from eastern Siberia to China. The central group migrates from western Siberia to India, and western group migrates from western Russia, right? So western Russia to Iran. So basically हमें ये याद रखना है कि भाई ये साइबेरिया एंड रशिया से माइग्रेट करते हैं चाइना, इंडिया एंड ईरान, right? Then in India, Kevlodev Ghana National Park of Rajasthan, right? Rajasthan, again, very important national park. See, we have already studied about it, right? Was the last consistently confirmed wintering area for the species in India, right? Among the cranes, they make the longest migration. Cranes में, birds में नहीं है, सिर्फ cranes में Siberian cranes make the longest migration, right? Their population has declined drastically in the past few decades due to hunting along their migration routes and habitat destruction, right? And IUCN status is critically endangered. Wildlife Protection Act में Schedule 1 में they are protected, right? So that is Siberian crane, right? Siberian crane migratory birds, right? Now let's see next species, that is Great Indian Bastard. Great Indian Bastard, right? Again, very important species, right? Great Indian Bastard is one of the rarest birds in the world. One of the rarest birds in the world because it is among the heaviest birds with a horizontal body and long bare legs, giving it an ostrich like appearance. ठीक है, वो क्या है, फोटोज देखेंगे, you will understand, right? Then despite weighing heavy, it can easily fly. By heavy weight है but fly कर सकती है. It is however not agile as other birds are. भाई fly तो कर सकती है but ये नहीं कि ईगल की तरह fly करेगी, right? थोड़ा कम हाइट में fly करेगी, थोड़ा slowly fly करेगी, right? The bird is ground nesting and omnivorous. अब देखो ground nesting means जैसे birds generally क्या करती है, nest trees में, right? So great Indian bastard heavy है, right? Easily fly तो कर सकती है but not agile as other birds. So ये आलसी है fly करके पेड़ में जाने के लिए, so ground nesting करती है and omnivorous, that means veg and non-veg दोनों खाती है. Besides wheat and millets, it consumes insects, snakes, scorpions and lizards, right? Then habitat is arid and semi-arid grasslands. Arid and semi-arid grasslands, open country with thorn scrub, tall grass interspersed with cultivation. It avoids irrigated areas. It is endemic to Indian subcontinent. Endemic to Indian subcontinent, found in central India, western India and eastern Pakistan. Right? Endemic मतलब इधर ही मिलते हैं और कहीं मिलते नहीं है Great Indian Bastard. So we can remember it as bastards are found in central India, western India and eastern Pakistan. Right? The largest population occurs in third desert Rajasthan. Other populations occurs in Kutch, Gujarat, Solapur and Chandrapur, Maharashtra, Kurnool of Andhra Pradesh, and Bellary of Karnataka. Right? Great Indian Bastard is Rajasthan's state bird. Right? IUCN status critically endangered, Schedule 1, Appendix, among 22 species of Species Recovery Program. We will be studying about it. Right? 22 species क्या है वो याद करेंगे. Right? A recent study suggests that GIB population has been falling continuously from 1260 in 1970s to less than 200. So less than 200. That's why they are critically endangered. Right? Hunting, habitat erosion, predators preying on eggs. अब देखो eggs नीचे रखती है ग्राउंड में, राइट? ग्राउंड में eggs. So predators आके eggs को पोड़ देंगे, right? So that is again important thing. Then high tension power lines by power companies etc. are causing of declining population. Again ये important reason है भाई, power lines वगैरह रख रहा है, ये इतना अच्छे से fly नहीं कर सकते, so power lines को टकरा के मर जा रहा है, right? Hunting, habitat loss, predator preying and high tension power lines, right? Declining population के लिए, right? Then bastard species found in India are Great Indian Bastard, Lesser Florican and Bengal Florican. अब देखो 3 bastard species are present in India, right? 3 bastard species, right? अब कैसे याद करना है? 3 idiots. So idiots भी 3 है, right? Bastard species भी 3 है इंडिया में, right? Like that we need to remember. And क्या क्या bastards है भाई? Great Indian Bastard तो याद होगा. Then एक है lesser bastard, right? 3 bastard में एक है lesser bastard, that is lesser florican. And तीसरा है Bengal florican और Bengal bastard. So in India 3 bastard species are present. They are Great Indian Bastard, the Lesser Florican and the Bengal Florican, right? Lesser Florican and Bengal Florican, right? So it is important point. Prelims में आ सकता है. Only one bastard species is found in India, that is Great Indian Bastard. No, India has 3 bastard species, right? Great Indian Bastard, Lesser Florican and Bengal Florican, right? So let's look at the image of Great Indian bastard. See, this is the image of Great Indian bastard. Great Indian bastard. See, this is horizontal body. बड़ा bird है. Bird के हिसाब से देखो, right? Look at the neck is also big. Body is also relatively big, right? Color horizontal type body, long neck, right? Legs, right? So this is Great Indian bastard, right? Critically endangered, mostly desert areas में ground laying is the thing. Now let's study about Bengal florican, right? So Bengal florican, अब देखो bastards में two bastards are critically endangered, right? Bengal bastard and Great Indian bastard are critically endangered. ठीक है, जो lesser bastard है भाई वो उसको ज्यादा रिस्क नहीं है, right? Like that we need to remember, right? It is a rare bastard species. Rare bastard species. Bengal florican is a rare bastard species that are well known for its mating dance. Well known for its mating dance, right? So native to only three countries: India, Nepal, and Cambodia. In India, it occurs in three states, right? So तीन कंट्री में मिलती है, इंडिया, नेपाल एंड कंबोडिया, एंड तीन स्टेट्स में मिलती है इंडिया. अब बंगाल में नहीं मिलती, राइट? ये याद करना, यूपी, असम एंड अरुणाचल में मिलती है, राइट? सो क्रिटिकली एंडेंजर्ड शेड्यूल 1, राइट? सो थ्री स्टेट्स में मिलती है, थ्री कंट्रीज में मिलती है. रेड बास्टर्ड स्पीसीज, मेटिंग डांस, right? So Bengal florican again important. So Bengal florican is a bastard, right? So let's look at the image of Bengal florican also. See, this is the Bengal florican, right? Great Indian bastard की तरह ही है थोड़ा, but color अलग है, but अलग species भी है ये. This is one of the other bastards. So three bastards are there. So Bengal florican is the Bengal bastard. Right, like that we can remember, right? It is also critically endangered. So out of three bastard species present in India, two are critically endangered. By bastards say they are critically endangered. Now let's see next, that is the critically endangered reptiles. ठीक है, reptiles critically endangered क्या क्या है? Gharial and leatherback turtle. Leatherback turtle we have already discussed while discussing gharials and turtles, right? You can go to the notes there and you can revise it, right? So we are not discussing them now, right? Now let's go back to critically endangered fish. Critically endangered fish, so here we will be discussing two fish, that is humpbacked mahseer, right? And the second critically endangered fish is large tooth sawfish. Large tooth sawfish, right? Critically endangered fish is large tooth sawfish and humpbacked mahseer. Humpbacked mahseer. So let's study about humpbacked mahseer. See, as the name suggests, hump, there is a hump in the back, right? That is humpbacked mahseer, right? Humpbacked mahseer, right? So it is a large freshwater fish. It is a large freshwater fish, right? So freshwater fish and endemic to Kaveri River. Endemic to Kaveri River. So this you need to remember क्योंकि questions पूछा हुआ है, right? So mahseer के बारे में, mahseer कहाँ मिलती है? So mahseer hub, right? And its tributaries, Kaveri River and its tributary IUCN, critically endangered, threats, destructive fishing methods, building of dams, fishing methods, by fishing में nets में पकड़ा जाएगा, right? Then building of dams that reduce flow rates of the river, right? This is basically habitat destruction हो रही है, building of dams वगैरह से वाटर फ्लो रिस्ट्रिक्ट हो जाएगा. सो स्पीसीज अच्छे से मूव नहीं कर पा रहे, तो सो humpbacked mahseer. Let's look at the image. You will have pictorial memory. See, this is humpbacked. See, देखा जाए so ये back है, so hump in the back, that is humpbacked mahseer. And see, ये एक आदमी पूरा कैरी नहीं कर पा रहा है एंड चार लोग भी पकड़ पा रहा है. सो दैट मीन्स दिस इज ए लार्ज फिश. अब बड़ा फिश है, रिवर्स में मूवमेंट करना है तो उनको डिफिकल्टी तो होगा. दैट्स व्हाई इट इज क्रिटिकली एंडेंजर्ड. सो क्रिटिकली एंडेंजर्ड. So this is humpbacked mahseer. Now let's understand about mahseer, right? Mahseer are important, right? Important. Mahseer are fish, right? There are many species of mahseer, right? So let's discuss mahseer. So as and when topic आ रहा है, so we are discussing everything related to it comprehensively. जो भी important चीज है उधर कवर करेंगे, right? So let's discuss about mahseer. See, the mahseer roughly translates mahi means fish and share means tiger. So it is also referred as tiger among fish. So Masir are tiger among fish. It is important indicator of freshwater ecosystem. So they live in fresh waters, right? Fish है, tiger among the fish है, and they live in freshwater ecosystem. So Masirs are freshwater fish, right? So Masir prefers clean, fast flowing and well oxygenated waters for breeding and migration, right? So by clean water, fresh water, right? Fresh water, river water जो clean है, fast flowing है and well oxygenated waters है. So that's why they are indicator species. जहां पानी थोड़ा भी खराब होती है तो मैसीर नहीं रह सकते, right? So मैसीर are indicator species, fresh water indicator species, and मैसीर are omnivorous, right? Omnivorous, veg and non-veg दोनों खाते हैं, right? Then threats faced are sensitive to dissolved oxygen levels, right? Dissolved oxygen क्या है? We have studied. Then water temperatures and shattered climatic changes, right? ये threats है. Then pollution, habitat loss, overfishing, construction of dams, impacting migration, etc. All these are reasons, right? Then out of 47 subspecies of Masir, right? Masir में 47 subspecies है, 15 are found in India and the rest in the other range countries in South Asia, right? So South Asia में है भाई बहुत सारे species है. अब major types of Masir found in India are, one is golden Masir, right? Golden Masir, also known as Himalayan Masir found in the Himalayan streams and rivers. अब हमने सोचा भाई Masir पता है ये fresh water fish है, right? Salt water नहीं है, सिर्फ fresh water river water में मिलती है, right? So streams in Himalayan streams and rivers, right? So native range is within the basins of Indus, Ganges and Brahmaputra rivers. So golden Masir is found in Indus rivers, Ganges rivers and Brahmaputra rivers. It is a fish, lives in fast moving waters, inhabiting hill streams with a rocky and stony substance, and IUCN status is critically endangered, right? जैसे humpbacked Masir क्या है? Critically endangered है. So here Masir are endangered. Right? Then next important is blue-finned Masir. Blue-finned Masir, also known as Deccan Masir, found in rivers of Deccan Plateau and South India. And this is least concern, right? So then third is humpbacked Masir, right? हमें तीन देखा. One is humpbacked is critically endangered, right? Blue-finned Masir is least concern, right? Blue-finned Masir is least concern and golden Masir is endangered. So let's look at the images. See, this is golden Masir, right? And this is blue-finned Masir. Golden Masir and blue-finned Masir. So blue color, right? So this is Masir, right? This is golden Masir, right? And blue-finned Masir are what? See, blue-finned Masir are least concern, right? Golden Masir are endangered, right? Endangered, and humpbacked Masir are critically endangered, right? So we have seen Masir. Now let's look at large tooth sawfish, right? So sawfish, there are many sawfishes, right? And one is large tooth sawfish. Large tooth sawfish are critically endangered, right? So they are found in tropical and subtropical waters around the world. Anywhere the waters are warm, जहां भी पानी गर्म है उधर मिलेगा. They can tolerate a range of salt water. Wildlife Protection Act, they are protected under Schedule 1, right? Large tooth sawfish. Let's look at the image. You have pictorial memory. ये critically endangered है. See, this is large tooth sawfish. See, large tooth sawfish है, right? See, अब देखो इतने बड़ा टूथ है, right? इसको, right? ये जाएगा फिशरिंग गेयर्स में लटका रहेगा, right? पकड़े जाएंगे, सही से मूवमेंट नहीं हो पाएगा, right? So that's why this is critically endangered. Large tooth sawfish. Sawfishes बहुत है, right? This is what? Large tooth sawfish, right? Large because of this unique tooth, right? So that is with respect to large tooth sawfish. Now let's discuss endangered mammals, right? Let's discuss endangered mammals, right? Critically endangered, हमने birds देख लिया, right? Fishes देख लिया, right? Reptiles we have covered, right? Gharial and leatherback turtles. Then we have seen three mammals, right? Now अभी endangered, right? So critically endangered के बाद endangered. So first is line-tailed macaw, right? Line-tailed macaw, right? So line-tailed macaw is an endangered primate species. Primates, right? Primates endemic to Western Ghats of India. Line-tailed macaw are only found in Western Ghats. That is endemic species, right? Endemic to Western Ghats. Western Ghats से बाहर natural इनका कुछ habitat नहीं है, right? Only found in Western Ghats. They are found only in the states of कर्नाटका, तमिलनाडु एंड केरला. सिर्फ 3 स्टेट में ही ये मिलेगी, right? Then Silent Valley National Park in Kerala has the largest population of line-tailed macaque, right? Then it is characterized by distinct light-colored mane around its head and chin and long turf tail resembling lines. Let's look at the image. You will get clarity. See, this is line-tailed macaque. Line-tailed macaque, right? So, अब देखो, tail is like line and it is distinctive light-colored mane. This is mane, right? Light-colored mane around its head and chin and a long turf tail resembling it. Then it is arboreal. Arboreal, देखो पेड़ों में ज्यादा रह रही है, right? Line-tailed macaque, arboreal, diurnal primate, right? Spends most of its time in upper canopy of tropical evergreen rainforest of Western Ghats, right? Western Ghats का endemic है, right? Upper canopy में रहती है, right? Arboreal है, right? Then it is endangered, schedule 1 and CITES appendix 1, right? So arboreal, endangered, schedule 1, appendix 1, right? Then next is red panda, right? Red panda again is endangered, right? Red panda, right? Red panda is a mammal species native to eastern Himalayas and southwestern China. So red panda are there in eastern Himalayas and China में भी है, right? They are arboreal, पेड़ों में रहती है, right? Most of the time it thrives best at 2200 to 4800 meters in any type of forest with dense bamboo, right? So this is the thing. So 2200 to 4800, right? Dense bamboo, right? Red panda, arboreal species. Then it is solitary animal, mainly active from dusk to dawn, right? Solitary अकेली रहती है, right? Active from dusk to dawn and is largely sedentary during the day, both nocturnal and crepuscular twilight. See, red panda is one of the laziest animal, right? So बस सोती रहती है, लेटी रहती है, कुछ ज्यादा हिलती विलती नहीं है. So like they also make jokes like, right, you are sleeping like red panda, right? Like that. So it is a sedentary during the day, solitary animal, mostly active from dusk to dawn. पेड़ों में रहती है, पेड़ों में लेटे रहती है, right? Then about 5k to 6k red pandas are estimated to be present in 4 Indian states of Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Sikkim and West Bengal, right? In 4 states में, right? India has second largest population of red panda after China. So China में ज्यादा है, right? And red panda are also there in Nepal, Bhutan and Myanmar also has few red pandas. It is state animal of Sikkim, right? State animal of Sikkim, IUCN, endangered, schedule 1 and 22 species under species recovery program, right? Species recovery program 22 species भी हम याद करेंगे, right? So that is with respect to red panda. Let's look at the image of red panda. See, this is the red panda. See, red, right? और पेड़ों में रह रही है, arboreal in nature, right? And देखो कैसे लेटी हुई है, इसको दुनिया से कोई मतलब नहीं है. So it is very lazy animal, right? See, it is red panda, पेड़ों में, right? Then see, now let's see next species, that is Nilgiri tar. So from the name suggested, Nilgiri areas में रहती है. Nilgiris कहाँ है? Western Ghats में, right? Nilgiri areas, Nilgiri, why Nilgiri, Nil, that is blue flowers, right? Which blossom once in 12 years, right? So वो भी पढ़ेंगे Nilgiri, right? So Nilgiri tar. Nilgiri tar is what? Nilgiri tar endemic to the Western Ghats. Endemic means सिर्फ Western Ghats में मिलती है. With current distribution between Nilgiris in the north and Kanyakumari hills in the south of the region. So Western Ghats में endemic है, right? Erravikulam National Park in Annamalai Hills, Kerala is home to the largest population of Nilgiri tar. right? And Mukurti National Park is created to protect the keystone species. Keystone species क्या है? We have studied, right? अगर ये नहीं है तो notes में जाके keystone species क्या है वो पढ़ो, right? So it is keystone species. मुकुंतरी नेशनल पार्क एराविकुलम नेशनल पार्क में ये मिलती है, right? Then characteristics few are given. Only mountain ungulate, right? Animal with hooves. अब hooves क्या है? जो भी एनिमल से that hard part on foot, right? जैसे horses है, right? जो भी पैर के नीचे ऐसा आता है ना, right? ऐसा thick layer type of the thing, right? That is hooves. So only mountain ungulate, right? Animal with hooves in South India amongst the 12 species present in India, diurnal but are most active grazing in early morning and late afternoon. Only are adapted to cold and wet tropical environment. So only tar adapted to cold and wet tropical environment, right? Nilgiri tar is the state animal of Tamil Nadu. IUCN status is endangered. Wildlife Protection Act Schedule 1. It is lists 22 species under species recovery program में भी है, right? All these things, right? Again easy इतना ज्यादा है नहीं, but हमें ज्यादा ये है कि कहाँ होती है, endangered है वो याद करना है. Let's look at the image. You will get more clarity. See, this is Nilgiri tar. Nilgiri tar, right? Nilgiris, right? Mostly habitat is endemic to Western Ghats. Western Ghats के अलावा कहीं नहीं मिलता है, right? So that is Nilgiri tar. Next is the Shanghai deer or Manipur blow antlered deer, right? Manipur blow antlered deer. See, it is Shanghai deer, very famous, right? Very famous, very important also. क्यों है? Let's study. Right? It is a medium-sized deer with uniquely distinctive antlers, right? वो देखते फोटो में, right? और habitat क्या है? It is only present in the Loktak Lake of Manipur. Loktak Lake, Ramsar wetland है, right? So it is Montrex record में भी है, right? Loktak Lake. So Loktak Lake inside Cable Lamjo National Park over floating biomass called Pumdi, right? See, अब क्या है? Loktak Lake है, right? See, this is Loktak Lake. अब Loktak Lake काफी बड़ा लेक है मणिपुर में, right? So Loktak Lake has Pumdis, right? Pumdis means जो floating substances है उस लेक का, right? So they are covered in areas and उस areas में वो floating करती है पानी के ऊपर, thick layer of plant materials they float, right? Plant, grass, etc. right? So उस पे कैबुल लैमजो नेशनल पार्क बनाया, right? So उस पे ये रहती है, right? Shanghai deer, right? So we'll study while studying about Cable Lamjo National Park and all, Loktak Lake, right? जो lakes वगैरह पढ़ेंगे तब we'll be discussing, right? Cable Lamjo National Park, पुमडी उधर रहती है Shanghai deer. So that's make it very important. Loktak Lake भी important है, Cable Lamjo National Park भी important है, and the Shanghai deer which stays on there, that is also important. It is state animal of Manipur, popularly called as dancing deer, right? So ये भी याद करना है. See, it is called dancing deer because dancing deer क्यों है, right? Because अब देखो ये रह रही है पुमडीस पे, right? अब पुमडीस पानी पे, right? पानी पे फ्लोट कर रही है पुमडीस. So इतना लैंड की तरह नहीं है. So it moves, while it moves, जहां पुमडी नीचे जाएगी, so it feels like that Shanghai deer are dancing while they walk, as it walks on the hind surface of pasterns with mincing hops over floating foliage known as pumdi. So IUCN status is endangered, right? Wildlife Protection Act Schedule 1 in list of 22 species covered under species recovery program. Is covered under species recovery program के अंदर कवर किया. So that is Shanghai deer or Manipur brow antlered deer. Right? So let's look at the image also. We haven't seen. See, this is Shanghai deer, right? Shanghai deer unique antlers. देखो, antlers are unique, right? And they are मीडियम साइज डियर, राइट. सो पुमडी इसमें रहती है. सी देखो हियर फोल्डेड, जब ये चलती है तो डांसिंग टाइप लगता है. सो दैट इज दे वाई कॉल डांसिंग डियर. केबुल डैम जो नेशनल पार्क लोकटक लेक पे, राइट. नाउ लेट्स सी नेक्स्ट स्पीसीज दैट इज इंडियन पेंगोलिन, राइट. सो पेंगोलिन आर ओनली मैमल. सी मैमल है. सो मैमल तो क्या है, इंसान भी मैमल है. मैमल मीन्स व्हाट, राइट. जो बर्थ होगा, लाइव एनिमल को बर्थ देंगे, राइट. इन पे मेमोरी ग्लैंड्स होती है, बच्चों को दूध दे सकते हैं, राइट. राइट. सो दोज आर टिपिकल फीचर्स ऑफ मैमल. पेंगोलिन इज ओनली मैमल wholly covered in scales, राइट. कंप्लीट बॉडी कवर्ड इन स्केल्स. इकलौता मैमल है जो स्केल से कवर होती है, राइट. सो दैट मेक्स इट इंपॉर्टेंट. इफ अंडर थ्रेट they will immediately curl into a tight ball exposing only the tough scales for protection. इनका प्रोटेक्शन मैकेनिज्म है, राइट. पेंगोलिन्स हैव नो टीथ, ठीक है, दांत है ही नहीं, राइट. एंड पिक अप फूड मोस्टली ants and termites using an extraordinarily long sticky tongue. See, you can watch YouTube, right, short video. Pangolins, इनमें दांत है ही नहीं, काफी बड़ा लंबा टंग होता है, राइट. उससे ants and termites को खींच के खाती है, राइट. Right. Then pangolins are solitary and primarily nocturnal animals. Nocturnal animals. There are 8 species of pangolins in the world, of which 2 are found in India. That is Indian pangolin, which is endangered, and Chinese pangolin, which is critically endangered. Right. 8 है pangolin species, उसमें 2 इंडिया में मिलती है, right. Then Indian pangolin is widely distributed in India except the arid region, Himalayan region, and northeast region. Right. Arid region में नहीं मिलेगा, हिमालयन रीजन में नहीं मिलेगा, राइट. नॉर्थ ईस्ट रीजन में नहीं मिलेगा, उसके अलावा हर जगह मिलेगा, राइट. वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट, दे आर प्रोटेक्टेड अंडर शेड्यूल 1. सो लेट्स लुक एट द इमेज ऑफ इंडियन पेंगोलिन. सी दिस इज पेंगोलिन. और जब कोई एनिमल मान ले अटैक कर लिया, राइट, मान ले फेस पे अटैक करेगी, राइट, टू प्रोटेक्ट वो क्या करेगी, पूरा ऐसा फोल्ड हो जाएगी, राइट. इनफैक्ट एक बॉल की तरह भी फोल्ड हो सकती है, पूरा कंप्लीट फोल्ड, राइट. जो भी एनिमल इसको खाना है कुछ खा ही नहीं सकता, स्केल्स इतना हार्ड है, खा ही नहीं सकता. सो दिस इज evolved प्रोटेक्शन मैकेनिज्म, राइट. इकलौता मैमल है which has this protection mechanism, राइट. क्वेश्चन ऑलरेडी पूछा, विल बी डिस्कसिंग क्वेश्चंस एक बार बेसिक इंपॉर्टेंट खत्म होने के बाद, राइट. वी आर डन विथ इंडियन पेंगोलिन. नेक्स्ट इज गोल्डन लंगूर. Golden langur, right. Golden langur can be most easily recognized by the color of their fur, after which they are named. So वो golden color fur है, right, उससे golden langur. It has been noted that their fur changes colors according to the seasons. So it is important. Fur changes colors according to the seasons. Mostly golden color रहेगा. The color of the young also differs from the adults in that they are almost pure white, right. Again ये भी है, right. So that's why golden langurs are important. Mostly found in, they are limited to Assam in India and neighboring Bhutan, right. India में Assam में है, right, and Bhutan में है, right. IUCN status is endangered. Wildlife Protection Act Schedule 1 cites Appendix 1. So that is golden langur. Around 7,300 golden langurs are present in India and few are present in Bhutan. So that's why golden langurs are important, because they are mostly present in India, right. So let's look at the image of golden langur. See, golden langur. Golden langur, अब देखो golden langur, right. So color इधर थोड़ा चेंज हुआ, but mostly golden langur, right. And जो एंग लंगूर से उसमें व्हाइट, सी अब देखो ये इधर थोड़ा व्हाइट है, राइट. सो अगर पूरा एंग है तो पूरा ये मेच्योर एडल्ट लंगूर, राइट. इट इज गोल्डन फर कलर, सो उधर से आया नाम गोल्डन लंगूर. So we are done with golden langur. Now let's see next, that is Halu gibbon. Again this is very important, PYQs में आ चुका है बहुत बार, right. Halu gibbon ये क्यों important है? Halu gibbon is the only ape found in India. इकलौता ape है found in India, right. Halu gibbon, right. Apes are nearest to humans, right. So only ape found in India. India में only ape. So there are 2 types of Haluk gibbons. One is Western Haluk gibbon and second is Eastern Haluk gibbon. India only has Western Haluk gibbon. Another species known as Eastern Haluk gibbons are not found in India, right. So Haluk gibbons भी 2 तरीके का, right. We have Western Haluk gibbon. So Haluk gibbons are only apes found in India, right? So gibbons are the smallest and fastest apes, right? They are omnivorous, right? Just like humans, right? And survive by eating plants, insects, and leaves, right? Then they are found in Assam and Arunachal Pradesh, right? Assam and Arunachal Pradesh in India. Haluk gibbon कहा? Assam and Arunachal, basically northeast में, right? IUCN status endangered, Wildlife Protection Act Schedule 1, right? So let's look at the image of Haluk gibbon. See, these are Haluk gibbon, right? Haluk gibbon, only ape found in India. ये Haluk gibbon याद आते ही आपको ये आना चाहिए, only ape found in India. Planet of Apes में ape, right? Ape, only ape found in India, that is Haluk gibbon, right? So Haluk gibbon. Now let's see next, that is musk deer or Himalayan musk deer, right? Again very important. Musk deer कहाँ मिलती है? Musk deers are adapted to high altitudes. अब देखो musk deers हर जगह है, यूरोप में भी है, right? So we are talking about Himalayan musk deer, जो हिमालयास में मिलते हैं, जो यूरोपियन फॉरेस्ट में, जो हाई एल्टीट्यूड्स में, जैसे मस्क डीर से वो हाई एल्टीट्यूड्स में मिलती है, राइट? ये डियर है, राइट, विच आर फाउंड इन हाई एल्टीट्यूड्स, राइट? जो हिमालयास का हाई एल्टीट्यूड्स में मिलता है वो हिमालयन मस्क डीर, वो इंडिया में मिलती है, दैट इज एंडेंजर्ड, राइट? उनके बारे में पढ़ रहा है. इट इनहिबिट्स हाई एल्पाइन एनवायरमेंट्स अबोव altitudes of 2500 meters in Himalayas of India, Nepal, Bhutan, Pakistan and China, right? So musk deer derives its name from waxy substance called musk. Waxy substance called musk that the male secretes from a gland in the abdomen, which it uses to attract females and to mark its territories, right? So musk से आया नाम मस्क डियर. अब मस्क क्या है भाई? एक मेल जो है वो सिक्रीट करते हैं फ्रॉम ए ग्लैंड इन द एब्डोमेन, पेट में से एक ग्लैंड से सिक्रीट करती है टू अट्रैक्ट फीमेल्स एंड टू मार्क टेरिटरीज. अब क्या, ये काफी अच्छा स्मेल वाला होता है, राइट? सो दैट मस्क इज यूज्ड इन द परफ्यूम्स, राइट? जो भी महंगा परफ्यूम्स है उसमें मस्क डीर का वो मस्क यूज करते हैं, राइट? सो यू कैन सी इन फेमस perfumes the ingredients में आएगा musk, right? So but this musk is also used in the manufacture of perfumes and medicines, causing threat to musk deers. अब उसकी वजह से threats है, perfume वजह से, right? So musk deers are mostly active during morning and evening, spend the day in dense vegetation. So males are territorial and will fight other males mostly during the mating season, right? अब देखो marking territories, so they are territorial animals, right? Then IUCN status is endangered. In India, musk deers are present in Himalayan range states, J&K, Himachal, Uttarakhand, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh, जहां भी ये बेसिकली बाई हाई एल्टीट्यूड हिमालयास में मिलती है, राइट? इंपॉर्टेंट, काफी बार क्वेश्चन पूछ चुका है, राइट? वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग दोस क्वेश्चंस, राइट? सो मस्क डियर, लेट्स लुक एट द इमेज ऑफ मस्क डियर. सी, दिस इज मस्क डियर और हिमालयन मस्क डियर. सो हायर माउंटेन्स पे, राइट? ये देखो स्नो कवर्ड माउंटेन्स, राइट? माउंटेन्स कहाँ है? स्नो कवर्ड, राइट? स्नो कवर्ड माउंटेन्स, सो हाई एल्टीट्यूड्स में रहती है मस्क डेयर्स एंड इधर मस्क सेक्रेट करते हैं, विच इज यूज्ड इन परफ्यूम्स, उसकी वजह से डेंजर में मस्क डेयर, राइट? सो नाउ वी आर डन विथ मस्क डेयर. लेट्स सी द नेक्स्ट, दैट इज वल्नरेबल स्पीसीज. सो वल्नरेबल में फर्स्ट वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग अबाउट क्लाउडेड लेपर्ड. क्लाउडेड लेपर्ड ए लेपर्ड है, राइट? उनके स्किन में क्लाउड टाइप स्किन है, राइट? इट इज द स्मॉलेस्ट ऑफ लार्ज वाइल्ड कैट्स, राइट? लार्ज वाइल्ड कैट्स लाइक से टाइगर, लायन, लेपर्ड, चीता एक्सेट्रा में ये स्मॉलेस्ट है, राइट? सो दे आर अमॉन्ग्स द बेस्ट क्लाइंबर्स इन द फैमिली ऑफ कैट्स. क्लाउडेड लेपर्ड्स largely known to inhabit low elevation evergreen rainforests, right, across Southeast Asia and the Himalayas, southern China, Bhutan, Nepal, northeast India, Myanmar, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos and Bangladesh, right? So हर जगह है, इसीलिए ये vulnerable में भी है, right? So clouded leopard, right, it is present in all the northeastern states of India. So clouded leopard present in all the northeast, ये basically northeastern states of India में है, इतना याद करना है. It is the state animal of Meghalaya, right? And IUCN status is vulnerable. So let's study about let's look at the image of clouded leopard. See, these are the clouded leopards. See, the skin has cloud-like formation, clouded leopards, and they are small in size. So, yeah, leopards hai, right? They are clouded leopards, right? So they are big cats. बड़े टाइगर लाइन की तरह हंटिंग करती है, अच्छे से क्लाइम करती है and all, right? So, but they are clouded leopards and small in size, right? Smallest wild cats among lions, tigers, etc. Right? They are the smallest, right? Clouded leopards, northeast. Then there are fishing cats. Fishing cats are nocturnal animals. Cats, right? They are adept swimmers and are known to even dive to catch fish. Right? So that's why fishing cat, right? अच्छे swimmers है, right? Fish को dive करके fish को पकड़ते हैं. Apart from fish, they also prey on frogs, crustaceans, snakes, birds, scavengers on carcasses of large animals, right? So wetlands are the favorite habitat of fishing cat and are mainly found in the mangrove forest of Sundarban, around Chilka Lake, foothills of Himalayas, along Ganga, Brahmaputra river valleys and in the western Ghats. So हर जगह mostly Sundarbans famous जगह है fishing cats के लिए, right? IUCN status is vulnerable, right? Wildlife Protection Act is Schedule 1. In 2012, West Bengal government officially declared fishing cat as state animal, right? Sundarbans में so state animal. In 2020, Chilka Development Authority designated fishing cat as ambassador of Chilka Lake. Ambassador of Chilka Lake, right? So Chilka Lake में भी ये around Chilka Lake, foothills of Himalayas, Ganga, Brahmaputra river में. So these are fishing cat again important है, right? Let's look at the images. See, these are fishing cat mostly live in and around water and they fish and other animals को see fishing cat, right? They live in mangrove forest, Sundarbans, etc. Chilka Lake में भी है, right? State animal of West Bengal, right? So fishing cats. So now let's look at the questions, right? So we have done important species, right? Which are critically endangered, vulnerable, extinct वाले भी देखे, right? Now let's look at the questions. जो उधर कवर नहीं है, right? वो इधर अच्छे से क्वेश्चन से थ्रू सारे ऑप्शंस वन बाय वन डिस्कस करेंगे, right? So now let's discuss about previous year questions asked from species. See, this is question asked in 2019. Consider the following pairs wildlife and naturally found in. See, bluefinned mahseer we have discussed, right? It is found in Kaveri river, right? Then Irrawaddy dolphin, no, Irrawaddy dolphin is a saltwater dolphin, right? So it is not found in Chambal river. Then rusty spotted cat, it is found in Eastern Ghats. So let's discuss about this, right? See, bluefinned mahseer we have already discussed is also called as Deccan mahseer, found in the rivers of Deccan Plateau and South India. It is naturally found in the Kaveri river, right? So option 1 is correct. Then Irrawaddy dolphin, right? We have already discussed dolphin, right? Irrawaddy dolphin prefers to live in estuaries and brackish water or water near coast. So besides Irrawaddy river, so Irrawaddy river also in Irrawaddy river also it stays where river water mixes with the ocean water, right? And it is also found in Indian Ganges near coast, right? Indian Ganges near coast, right? It needs brackish water, right? Then Chilka Lake and Southeast Asia's Mekong River again near coast. So that's why it is called Irrawaddy dolphin, right? Irrawaddy river, right? Near the coast where brackish water is there, right? So it is not present in Chambal river because Chambal river doesn't have ocean outlet, right? So incorrect, right? So 2, if we can eliminate 2, right, we can answer it, right? So 2 is important, right? Only option 2. So Irrawaddy river, make sure you know about Irrawaddy river and its habitat, right? Then bluefin mahseer, right? Kaveri river and rusty spotted cat. This is also again important, right? Because it is found in Eastern Ghats. Let's discuss it. See, rusty spotted cat, right? Rusty spotted cat, also known as the hummingbird of cats. Hummingbird of cats is the world's smallest cat, weighing less than 1.6 kg. It is endemic to endemic to India, Sri Lanka, and Nepal. So basically endemic to subcontinent and endemic to India, Sri Lanka, and Nepal. An estimated 10,000 cats are believed to exist in the wild in India, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. In India, they are majorly found in eastern Ghats of Andhra Pradesh. So these cats are very well known in Andhra Pradesh. Rusty spotted cats. Then rusty spotted cats are shy. They are nocturnal, shy, and elusive, making them difficult to study. Right? Then they share its habitat with tiger. Right? Even though they are small in size, their speed, agility, aggressiveness, and chimpanzee-like tree climbing skills make them important species of their habitat, and they are near threatened, right? 10,000 species are there and they are included in schedule 1. So rusty spotted cat is found in mostly eastern Ghats and other parts of India, right? So now let's look at the images of Irrawaddy dolphin and rusty spotted cat. See, this is Irrawaddy dolphin, right? Irrawaddy dolphin mostly present in brackish water, right? And famous Irrawaddy dolphin ka spot is Chilka Lake, right? Brackish water is there, so there Irrawaddy dolphins are present, right? Chilka Lake, you need to remember Irrawaddy dolphin, right? Next, see, rusty spotted cat, rusty spotted cat. See, this is small cat, right? Small cat less than 1.6 kg. See, small cat, right? Mostly found in eastern Ghats of Andhra Pradesh, right? You need to remember that, right? It is endemic to Indian subcontinent, only found in India, Sri Lanka, and Nepal, right? So let's go to the notes and we will see the next question. See, this is question asked in UPSC 2022. Which of the following is not a bird? Not a bird. So golden masir. This is again very easy question, right? Rest all are birds. Indian nightjar, spoonbill, white ibis. They are birds, right? On the other hand, golden masir is not a bird because it is a fish. Golden masir, also known as Himalayan masir, is a fish found in the Himalayan streams and rivers. It is fish, lives in fast moving waters, inhabiting hill streams with rocky and stony substrate, right? We have already discussed golden masir. So this is one of the easiest questions. Now let's move to next question. Okay, this is important. Asked in UPSC 2021. Consider the following animals: hedgehog, marmot, pangolin. To reduce the chance of being captured by predators, which of the above organisms rolls up and protect in its vulnerable parts, right? So we have already seen pangolin. Pangolin rolls up. So three has to be there. So two options we have eliminated, right? So whenever we eliminated two options, we need to attempt that question for sure, right? 50-50 chances से risk हमेशा लेना चाहिए, right? At least, in fact, what I suggest is अगर एक भी option eliminate किया, then you have to attempt that question, right? So now we are left with two options. See, marmot and hedgehog. See, marmot is what? Marmot is squirrel, right? Squirrel. And hedgehog is a species which we will be discussing, right? So let's look at the images, right? Then we will be discussing it. See, this is hedgehog. Hedgehog. See, hedgehog is a small rat-like species, right? Which has thorns on it, right? Back पे पूरा thorn से covered है, right? And whenever an animal tries to attack it, so it tries to protect itself by rolling as a ball, right? ताकि thorns ऊपर आएगा, animal attack नहीं कर पाएगी. जैसे ये देखो, this dog is trying to attack hedgehog, right? So this dog now cannot attack it because the hedgehog is protection mechanism use किया, right? It rolls into a ball, right? So that animals cannot attack its head, its stomach, etc. Right? So that is hedgehog, right? The next is marmot. See, these are marmots, again important, right? These are squirrels. These are squirrels, right? Squirrel से थोड़ा बड़ा squirrel से, right? Mostly ये cold regions में found, we can see them, right? So marmots, you need to remember, marmots are squirrels. So let's study about these things in comprehensive manner, right? See, hedgehog are an insectivorous spiny, right, needle like anatomical structure mammal, needle like anatomical structure, so उनके पास needles है ऊपर, right, so they can roll back and protect themselves, so that's why hedgehogs are important. So you need to remember hedgehog means rat like thing. See, hedgehogs are small mammal with short limbs and a body low to the ground. Their most distinctive characters is thousands of stiff sharp thorns that cover their back and sides, that cover their back and sides. When they are frightened or annoyed, hedgehogs will roll into a ball so that a predator will feel the full burnt of its sharp spines and will leave the hedgehog alone, right? Hedgehogs are nocturnal mammals, right? Nocturnal mammals, it means they usually sleep during the day and awaken to search for food at night. They usually go into their burrows or hole or tunnel and sleep continuously for 2 months to reduce their metabolic activity. This is also important point. Then distribution. There are 17 species of hedgehog found throughout the parts of Europe, Asia, Africa, and New Zealand. Out of the 17 species of hedgehog around the world, India is home to 3 species. So 3 species of hedgehog are present in India. Right, IUCN status is least concern because 17 species of hedgehogs are there throughout the world. Right, in Wildlife Protection Act, they are covered under Schedule 4. Schedule 4 is what? Schedule 4 of Wildlife Act is what? That is sites. साइट्स में जो भी एनिमल्स मेंशन्ड है, राइट, सो वो एनिमल्स शेड्यूल 4 में मेंशन किया गया, दैट इज आफ्टर 2022 अमेंडमेंट, राइट. शेड्यूल 4 इज साइट्स, सो दीज hedgehogs are protected under sites mechanism, right? So that is hedgehog. Then let's look at marmots, right? Marmots. So marmots are relatively large ground squirrels, right? Squirrels से थोड़ा बड़े हैं, right? Large ground squirrels, ground में रहते हैं, right? They are heaviest members of squirrels family, right? They do not roll up when threatened. So squirrels don't roll up, right? So right, there are 15 species of marmots found primarily in the continents of Europe, Asia, and North America. ठीक है, South Asia or Indian subcontinent is home to the Himalayan marmot and the long-tailed marmot. Both are least concern as per IUCN Red List. See, 15 species है, right? So they are least concern as per IUCN, right? Then marmots are well suited for life in cold environments. We have seen, see, they have fur, right? And have small fur covered ears, short stocky legs, and strong claws for digging. Marmots are ground nesting. They dig burrows and live in burrows, right? They dig burrows and live in burrows, right? While digging burrows, marmots increase aeration in the soil, which increases nutrient cycling and helps different plants to propagate, right? So marmots are diurnal, active during day, and almost entirely vegetarian, right? Squirrels are mostly vegetarian. Marmots also play important role in Himalayan ecology, right? They are prey for predators including snow leopard, red fox, hawks, eagles, etc., right? So marmots are very important Himalayan ecology mein, they play very important role, right? Then pangolins, we have already studied. Pangolin are only mammal covered in scales. If under threat, will immediately curl in a tight ball, exposing only tough scales for protection, right? So now let's see next question, that is consider the following fauna, right? Question asked in 2023, right? How many of the above are nocturnal or most active after sunset? Right, most active after sunset. See, line-tailed macaw, right? Line-tailed macaw, right? Malabar civet and sambar deer. Right? So answer is only one, right? So what is that one animal which is nocturnal? Let's discuss it, right? We'll read the entire content, you will understand it. See, line-tailed macaw is an endangered primate species, right? Primate species, say human hai, right? Human are also primates, right? We are what? We are diurnal, right? We are not nocturnal, right? हम रात में सोते हैं, दिन में काम करते हैं, right? So primates are not nocturnal, right? So primates are generally they are not nocturnal, right? So endemic to Western Ghats of India, they are found only in states of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala, right? So हमने ये भी डिस्कस किया, लाइन टेल मकॉक मोस्टली फाउंड इन साइलेंट वैली नेशनल पार्क, राइट? वेस्टर्न घाट्स में, राइट? It is diurnal meaning it is active exclusively in daylight hours, right? रात में सोते हैं, right? Then next is, so hence option 1 is not correct. Then next is Malabar civet. Malabar civet we have discussed is a small dog like carnivore species declared possibly extinct in 1978 but was rediscovered 9 years later in Western Ghats. So Malabar hai, Malabar region is in Western Ghats. So Malabar civet is considered nocturnal and so elusive that little is known about its biology and ecology apart from habitat use. भाई रात में ही ये लोग hunt करते हैं, right? Carnivore species they hunt during night, right? दिन में कभी दिखते ही नहीं है. सो दे आर नॉक्चर्नल एंड एल्यूजिव, इसीलिए उनको उनके बारे में ज्यादा जानते ही नहीं है बिकॉज दे आर वेरी लेस स्पीसीज एंड दे आर एक्टिव इन द नाइट, राइट? देन नेक्स्ट इज सांबा डियर. Samba deer, it is large deer native to Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia. Samba deer is the largest deer of India, right? Samba deer is the largest deer of India. How we can remember it? See, sambar, right? And sambar kake, it has become the largest deer of India, right? So like that we can remember. As with most deer, only the males have antlers, right? The males live alone for much of the year except during breeding. The females live in small herds of up to 16 individuals, right? The males join the herd during the time of breeding alone, right? Samba deer are water dependent, so they are never found far from water. अब देखो सांबार में हमें पानी डालना होता है सांबार बनाने के लिए. So samba deer also water dependent, so they are never found far from water, but otherwise can be found in broad range of forest habitats like dry deciduous, rainforest and mixed forest. They are found in altitudes up to 3,500 meters, right? So samba deers are water dependent, right? Then they commonly communicate by scent marking and foot stamping, right? Communicate by scent marking and foot stamping. Samba deer are the favorite prey of tigers and Asiatic lion, right? So favorite prey, see sambar are favorite for tigers and Asiatic lions. So sambar बहुत लोगों का favorite है, ऐसा याद करना है. Nearly 60% of prey of tiger can be sambar, right? 60% of the prey. IUCN status is vulnerable. Samba deer are primarily crepuscular. That meaning they are most active at dawn and dusk, right? सुबह सन शाइन हुआ उस टाइम एंड डस्क सनसेट होने से पहले एक्टिव होते हैं, उनको बोलते हैं क्रेपुस्कुलर, राइट? वो ये होता है डायूर्नल, ह्यूमंस आर डायूर्नल. देन होता है नॉक्टर्नल, राइट? देन थर्ड कैटेगरी इज crepuscular, right? Meaning they are most active at dawn and dusk. They typically rest in dense forest during the day and move to open areas to feed at dusk, then return to cover at dawn. However, they may also be active during the night, but they are not strictly nocturnal, right? Strictly nocturnal nahi hai, so that's why only one option is correct, right? So now let's see next question is with regard to squirrels. Indian squirrels, right? Indian squirrels common, we can see them in villages, cities, towns, in our homes, etc., right? So squirrels, Indian squirrels, they build nests by making burrows in the ground. No, Indian squirrels build nest on trees, right? So मरमोट से वो ग्राउंड में बरो करते हैं, राइट? इंडियन स्क्विरल्स जो नॉर्मल डे टू डे स्क्विरल्स है वो पेड़ों पे नेस्ट बनाते हैं, राइट? So then they store their food materials like nuts and seeds in the ground. They are omnivorous. Yes. So option B, only two are correct. So let's discuss about the squirrels, right? So squirrels are generally small to medium sized rodents, but there are few species that are giant in size like Malabar giant squirrel and Malayan giant squirrel, right? See, ये इतना भी and grizzled giant squirrels इतना भी बड़ा नहीं है. Giant के मतलब हम ये नहीं सोचना है कि ये डॉग से बड़ा है या उतना नहीं है. They are relatively bigger with respect to squirrels, right? Squirrels का double size होंगे, right? We'll look at the images, you will get clarity, right? Then Indian squirrels are small size squirrels that live in tropical dry forest, rainforest, mangrove forest, grasslands, scrub, parks, gardens and urban areas. They are solitary and only come together during the breeding season. They are active during the day, spending their time both in trees and on ground, right? Indian squirrels build nests in the tree tops using the grass and branches. So tree tops पे they make their nest. Hence statement 1 is not correct. So to prepare for colder months, squirrel catch or hide food during the spring and summer by gathering extra nuts. They bury the surplus in the area surrounding their nest, right? मान ले पेड़ पे है, इधर बना लिया स्क्विरल्स ने नेस्ट, राइट? सो नीचे ग्राउंड में नट्स वगैरह बरियल करेंगे, स्टोर करके रखेंगे, राइट? स्प्लिटिंग इट इनटू डिफरेंट अंडरग्राउंड पैंट्रीज टू सेव फॉर लेटर, राइट? देन इंडियन स्क्विरल्स आर ओमनिवोर्स, राइट? सो इधर क्या दिया हुआ? ओमनिवोर्स, यस दे आर ओमनिवोर्स, right? And they feed mainly on nuts and fruits, but also eat seeds, insects, small mammals, and reptiles, eggs, and even sometimes chicks of birds, right? So so statement 3 is correct. Then there are about giant squirrels. So giant squirrels of India, right? In India we have Malabar giant squirrel, Malayan giant squirrel, and grizzled giant squirrel, right? Grizzled giant squirrel, right? So Malayan giant squirrel. So Malayan giant squirrel is distinguished throughout southern China, distributed throughout southern China, Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, right? All the right Malay Peninsula, right? Then in India, found in parts of West Bengal, Sikkim, Assam, Arunachal, Meghalaya, and Nagaland. So basically northeast में है, right? Malayan giant squirrel is one of the world's largest squirrel species. Recently held first of its kind study by the Geological Survey has projected that the number of Malayan giant squirrels could decline 90% in India by 2050. So they are near threatened now, right? Near threatened, right? Then next is grizzled giant squirrel. So grizzled giant squirrel is the smallest of all giant squirrels, right? It is found in riparian forests of South India and Sri Lanka. Riparian forests of South India and Sri Lanka. They prefer riverine or riparian forests which grow next to rivers, right? Like all giant squirrels, they are arboreal. Like all giant squirrels, they are arboreal. Basically, they live on trees. Arboreal, right? They are crepuscular, right? Active at dawn and dusk and spend most of their time foraging in the canopy, right? Like its larger cousin, the Malabar giant squirrel. So grizzled giant squirrel also built nest from leaves and twigs, which they raise their pups, and they are nearly threatened. So let's look at the images. You will get more clarity. See, these are the giant squirrels of India, right? These are basically little big, right? That's it, right? Squirrels are little big, right? These are the giant squirrels of India. Now let's see next question. See, that is asked in 2015 with reference to dugong, a mammal found in India, right? Dugong, a mammal found in India. Which of the following statements are correct, right? Dugong, right? It is a herbivorous marine animal as it is found along the entire coast of India, right? No, right? It is given legal protection under Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act, right? So 1 and 3, right? 1 and 3 सिर्फ इसी में, right? So found along the entire coast of India is incorrect. Let's look at it. See, dugong again very important, right? बहुत बार question आया हुआ, right? Very important. Dugong also known as sea cows, right? So also known as sea cows. It is world's only herbivorous marine mammals, right? दुनिया का ही only herbivorous, right? Herbivorous marine mammals, right? Dugongs are mainly found in shallow waters as they survive mainly on seagrass. So dugongs कहाँ होंगे? जहाँ seagrass मिलेगा उधर रहेंगे, right? So dugongs are ecological engineers practicing cultivation grazing, that is consuming entire meadows, then abandoning them and returning once the seagrass has recovered. They migrate large distances in search of their favorite seagrasses, right? Favorite seagrasses के लिए migrate large distances in search of their favorite seagrasses, right? Then dugongs use sensory abilities of echolocation, sound wave reflection. Echolocation हम discuss करेंगे ये questions में, right? To navigate turbid waters. They use visual communication during mating displays, right? Lifespan of dugongs is 70 years or more, and female dugong breed every 2.5 to 7 years starting from 6 to 17 years, right? With gestation period of 13 to 15 months and a nursing period of around 18 months, right? So this is important. That's why I covered comprehensively. Calves stay with mothers, feeding and bonding till age 6 to 7, right? They are very social species found in groups of 2 to 200 individuals. They can stay underwater for 10 minutes before coming to surface to breathe with a distinct dolphin-like tail, right? Then dugongs have mammary glands that is produce milk to feed young offspring, right? Mammal इसलिए habitat is shallow coastal waters of Indian and Western Pacific Oceans. So Indian and Western Pacific Oceans में, right? In India found in Gulf of Mannar, Palk Bay, Gulf of Kutch, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So IUCN status are vulnerable. Protection, Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act, cites Appendix 1 in the list of 22 species covered under Species Recovery Program, state animal of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, right? So then Tamil Nadu government announced India's first conservation reserves for dugongs in Palk Bay. India's first reserve for dugongs कहाँ है? Palk Bay पे है, right? So that is about dugong. Now also see next question. See next question also have, right? Sea cow and sea lion and seahorse. Which of the following are mammals? So mammals क्या है वो भी डिस्कस करेंगे, right? इनमें क्या है? अब देखो हमें पता है seahorse is a fish, right? So we have already discussed, again very important, seahorse, sea cow, sea lion, right? So काफी important है. So we know, so two we can eliminate, so that is left between 1 and 3, right? We are left with two options, so we need to attempt. So option B is the answer, that is sea lion and sea cow. They are, sea cow is basically dugong, right? So dugong is a mammal, so 1 we know, so 1 and 3 sea lion is also a mammal. We will be studying it, right? See, mammals are class of vertebrate animals. Animals है जिनमें vertebrate, that is backbone है, right? Characterized by warm blooded, right? Have hair or fur. See, इंसान क्या है? इंसान mammal है, right? Ours is warm blooded, right? And have hair or fur. We also have hair over our body, right? Give birth to live young ones, right? Give birth to live young ones को birth देते, right? इंसान भी, right? Nurse their young ones with milk, right? दूध milk देते. Then breathe with lungs. Mammals which live on land have 4 or 2 legs or 2 arms and ears that stick out. So ears भी बाहर होते हैं mammals को, right? So जो भी animals है ears दिखते हैं वो mammals है, right? Dugong also known as sea cow is a world's only herbivorous marine mammals. Herbivorous सिर्फ यही है, sea grass खाती है, right? Dugong, right? Then seahorse, we know seahorse are marine fish and horse shaped heads, इसीलिए they are called seahorses. Geographical distribution, seahorses are generally found in shallow tropical and temperate waters throughout the world, right? There are 46 species of seahorses reported worldwide. The coastal ecosystem of India has 9 out of 12 seahorse species found in Indo-Pacific, one of the hotspots of seahorse population, right? So ecosystem, seagrass, mangroves, coral reefs, microalgal beds, etc. Right? In India, seahorses are spread across all states and union territories which have coasts, right? IUCN status vulnerable, Wildlife Protection Act Schedule 1, right? So that is seahorse, and the next is sea lion, right? So sea lion are marine mammals. Sea lions are marine mammals, right? So they are known for their semi-aquatic lifestyle. Semi-aquatic lifestyle, spending a significant amount of time both on land and in the water, right? Both on land, right? Semi-aquatic lifestyle, ये याद करना है, right? Semi, both on land and water. Sea lions are carnivorous and primarily feed on fish, right? And they inhabit rocky shorelines, islands and sandy beaches. See, equally, right? Rocky shorelines में भी होता है, islands में भी होता है, sandy beaches में भी होता है. Geographical distribution, they can be found in various regions including Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean and parts of Indian Ocean. Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean and parts of Indian Ocean. That is the geographical distribution, right? Now let's look at the images. This is dugong or sea cow, right? Marine areas में रहती है, right? Marine mammal, right? Marine mammal, dugong. Then see, this is sea lion, right? Sea lion, right? Water में रहती है, right? And other coastal areas, sand, and rocky coastal areas, right? So that is sea lion. They are also mammals, right? So now let's see question asked in 2019. That is, some species of turtles are herbivores, some species of fish are herbivores, some species of marine mammals are herbivores, some species of snake are viviparous. Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are correct. Let's look at the options. See, some species of turtles are herbivores. So we have seen by turtles cat. Turtles का party tortoise है. Tortoise we know are herbivores, right? So some species of turtles are herbivores. We know that all tortoises are turtles, and there are tortoise which are herbivores, right? Most of the tortoise are herbivores, right? In fact, there are herbivore turtles also, right? Turtles may be herbivore turtles, right? They feed on plant material including fruits, leaves, and stems, right? Some species of turtles are herbivores include green sea turtle, Galapagos tortoise, and Indian flapshell turtles, right? So you need to know कि turtles may be herbivores hai, right? So turtles and tortoise we have discussed, right? So the differences you should know, right? Then while many species of fish are carnivorous, some are herbivorous, right? Herbivorous fish bhi hai, right? Feeding primarily on algae, aquatic plants and fruits. Some example of herbivore fishes include parrotfish, Japanese angelfish, damselfish, surgeonfish, and rabbitfish. So damselfish, right? These are herbivores, right? Then marine mammals are mammals which live in marine waters. Some examples of marine mammals include seals, sea lions, whales, dolphins, dugongs, etc. While many marine mammals like whales, dolphins, sea lions, etc. are carnivores, on the other hand, some marine mammals like sea cow, manatees, etc. are herbivores, feed primarily on seaweed and other plants. Right? Then, with respect to viviparity mode of reproduction, viviparity is reproductive strategy in which the young are born to live and fully formed. Right? Is reproductive in which young are born alive and fully formed rather than hatching from eggs. Right? While many species of snakes are oviparous, lay eggs, some are viviparous. Examples of viviparous snakes include green anaconda, boa constrictor, etc. Right? Then extra information देखो. Three ways of snakes are born. Oviparous, that is snakes that give birth to offspring by laying eggs. Right? Offspring को अंडे देके करती है. Most of the snakes they do. Eastern milk snake is the example. 70% of the species are oviparous, that is they lay eggs. Right? Viviparous means egg develop inside the mother's placenta and are born alive. That is northern water snake. Right? Oviparous is both the combination. Right? Viviparous and oviparous. Right? Eggs incubate and hatch inside the mother body, and our baby snakes are born alive. Example, rattlesnake. Right? Rattlesnake, oviparous, viviparous, and ovoviviparous. Right? Ovoviviparous. Right? So let's see the next question that is asked in question 2016. In which of the following regions of India are you most likely to come across Great Indian Hornbill? Right? Great Indian Hornbill in natural habitat. Right? Great Indian Hornbill in natural habitat, that is either Western Ghats, right, or Hornbill of Northeast. Right? So all the options are incorrect. Right? So option D is the answer. Hornbills are referred to as forest engineers or farmers of forest for playing a key role in dispersing seeds of tropical trees. India has 9 hornbill species which include Great Indian Hornbill, Nercondum hornbills. Right? So hornbills, India has 9 hornbill species, right? So great Indian hornbill is the largest of all hornbill. Female great hornbills are smaller than males and white bluish. Okay. Figs comprise a major diet of and the species X ambition, etc. Right? So you need to know about it, right? Great Indian hornbill, right? Habitat in wet evergreen and mixed deciduous forest, distribute in range of western India through Indochina, South Malaya, and through Sumatra. In India, mainly found in foothills of Himalayas and the part of northeast India. So foothills of Himalayas and the part of along the Western Ghats. Right? Vulnerable Wildlife Protection Act, Schedule 1 of Appendix. Then Narcondam hornbill, it is endemic to Narcondam Island of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, IUCN status is endangered. IUCN status is endangered, right? So these are, let's look at the image of hornbill. See, these are the Great Indian hornbill. Great Indian hornbill, right? Great Indian hornbill, right? Hornbill species, right? Found in Western Ghats and Northeast evergreen forest. So evergreen forest चाहिए इन्हें. Red sanders, sometimes seen in news, consider the following statements. So asked in 2016, see, red sanders are what? Red sanders is a tree species found in part of South India, right? Pushpa you have seen, you might have understood red sanders, right? It is one of the most important trees in the tropical rainforests of South India. No. Tropical rainforests of South India. No, they are part of ever deciduous forests, right? Ever deciduous forests, right? So red sanders is a non-fragment variety of sandalwood. Non-fragment variety, right? That mostly grows in rocky, hilly regions. Saplings reach 8 to 10 million in 3 to 4 years, but growth slows down after that. The trunks are slender and it takes at least 20 to 25 years for the tree's beautiful red, deep redwood of use, right? So it grows in very tall, right? 8 to 10 meters in 3 to 4 years, right? Red sanders are endemic tree of South India. सिर्फ उधर ही मिलता है, right? Basically आंध्र प्रदेश में एक region है, उधर ही मिलता है red sanders, right? They are found in the tropical dry deciduous forests of the Palakonda and Sichachalam hill ranges of Andhra Pradesh, right? In some contagious patches in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, where some wild growth is of trees are seen. Red sanders prefer laterite and gravy soil and cannot thrive waterlogging. Red sanders are requisite to drugs. Then significance of red sanders, right? They are used in timber industry. The timber of red sanders is highly demanded for use in furniture, woodcraft, and musical instruments domestically and internationally. Medicinal value, they find at the center of the trunk is used as medicine. It is used for treating digestive problems, fluid interaction. Right? The timber is also exploited for the existence of sanitation. Right? IUCN status is endangered. CITES is Appendix 2. Wildlife Protection Act is Appendix 4, sorry. Right, recent news, based on our compliance and reporting, India has been removed from the review of significant trade for red sanders. Right, India was under review of significant trade process for red sanders since 2004. ये याद करना है. Review of significant trade process is a process under CITES. Right, so review of significant trade is a process through which CITES standing committee places increased scrutiny on the export species from a country to determine if the convention is being poorly implemented. In the past, it has even led to the recommendation to suppose trade with India, fighting with Iran, the red etc. Farmers grow on red sanders, right? So that is the question with respect to red sanders. All the information is given. You can easily study and understand it. Now, let's see question asked in UPSC 2024. See, consider the following: cashew, papaya, red sanders. How many of the above trees are actually native to India? See, red sanders we know is native to India, right? So none is incorrect. So one option is eliminated, right? We need to attempt this question, right? So with respect to cashew and papaya, let's study. See, cashew is native to northeastern Brazil, right? It is native to Brazil. Portuguese missionaries introduced it in East Africa and India during the late 16th century, where it became abundant at low altitudes near the sea coast. So, where it became abundant at low altitudes near the sea coast is the area where it grows well, right? So, low altitude near the sea coast. Let's see. See, India is the second largest producer and exporter of cashew nuts, right? Major cashew producing states are Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu, right? So, soil needed is well drained, deep sandy loam soil. See, sandy soil is present near coast, right? Temperature range of 20 to 38 degrees Celsius. right? Relative humidity is 60 to 95%. Annual precipitation is 200 centimeters to 350 centimeters, right? Then papaya cultivation had its origin in South Mexico and Costa Rica, right? Total annual old production, right? Origin in South Mexico and Costa Rica, so it is not originated in India. Total annual world production is estimated to be 6 million tons of fruits papaya. So India leads the world in papaya cultivation, which with an annual output of about 3 million tons, that is 50% of the papaya production is happening in India, right? तो ये इसीलिए दिया, ठीक है? See, India is leads the world production, right? And कैशू इज सेकेंड लार्जेस्ट प्रोड्यूसर. अब इससे क्या लगेगा, लोगों को लगेगा कि ये एक्चुअली नेटिव टू इंडिया है, राइट? बट दीज टू आर इंट्रोड्यूस्ड क्रॉप्स, नॉट नेटिव टू इंडिया, राइट? सो ओनली वन, right? Option A is the correct answer. Red Sanders is only actually native to India. Cashew and papaya are not native to India, right? So then Red Sanders, so we know, right? Now let's move to next question. See, that is question asked in UPSC 2023. Consider the following statements. Statement 1, marsupials are not naturally found in India. Not naturally found in India, right? Marsupials are not naturally found in India. Then marsupials can thrive only in mountain grasslands with no predators. So let's understand about marsupials. Right? Marsupials, which one of the following is correct in respect of the above statements, right? So let's see. See, marsupials, right? There are around 6,400 species of mammals. So marsupials are naturally for, right? So see, mammals के बारे में दिया, warm blood, body hair, ability to breathe with lungs, nurturing their young with milk, right? And mammals का birth, right? There are 3 different ways mammals give birth, right? So basically we have discussed mammals कैसे birth होता है, because marsupials में unique type of birth among the mammals होता है, right? Marsupials, so one is placental mammals, right? And third is monotremes, right? See, these are all are important. We will be discussing them comprehensively. See, mammals, 6,400 species of mammals hai, right? So, right, would among mammals, birth, right? Based on birth, mammals can be divided into 3 types, right? That is placental mammals, जैसे humans are mammals, right? Humans give birth to placental mammals, right? वो क्या है वो भी we will be discussing. Then second type is marsupials and third is monotremes. First placental mammals discuss करते हैं, right? See, placental mammals, there are nearly 4,000 species of placental mammals, right? Out of सारे mammals में most of the mammals are placental mammals, of which most are rodents and bats, right? Placental mammals give birth to live young, जैसे humans भी है, right? छोटे बच्चे young live बच्चे को birth देते हैं. So that is placental mammals, right? Before birth, the embryo is nourished in mother's uterus via a specialized organ connected to uterus called as placenta. So that's why we are called placental mammals, right? So placenta, right? So placental mammals, right? So one is directly giving birth, right? So that is placental type, right? Then the second is marsupials. So let's discuss about marsupials, right? Marsupials are group of mammals that are known for giving birth to relatively undeveloped young, right? Relatively undeveloped young. अब बच्चे को तो दे देंगे, बच्चों कैसे undeveloped बच्चा होगा, right? Which then continue to grow and develop outside the womb, right? So बच्चे undeveloped बच्चे को बाहर लाएंगे, right? Outside the womb there is a typical pouch, right? Typical pouch, उसमें बच्चा grow करेगा. Example is kangaroo. Kangaroo is a well-known example, right? Well-known example. So let's look at the photos of marsupials, right? You will get clarity. See, these are marsupials. See, in kangaroo, we see kangaroos carrying their child in a pouch, right? So marsupial mammals, all the marsupial mammals, what they do, they बच्चे जब फुल्ली डेवलप नहीं हुआ उसके बाद ही, उससे पहले ही पेट से बाहर आएगा, राइट? एंड पेट से बाहर आने के बाद द मदर्स दे टेक केयर ऑफ चिल्ड्रन इन द पाउच, राइट? फिर पाउच में दूध पिलाएंगे एक्सेट्रा सब करेंगे, राइट? एग्जांपल्स ऑफ marsupials आर वोम्बैट, शुगर ग्लाइडर, राइट? कोयला अगेन इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया, राइट, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में मिलती है, राइट. देन ओपोसम, कंगारूस, नुम्बाट, wallaby, quail, Tasmanian devil, etc. So these all are marsupials, right? Marsupials, right? So let's go. See, kangaroos, koalas, Tasmanian tiger. See, Tasmanian tiger we have already seen, right? Carnivore marsupial that is believed to be extinct, right? Extinct, right? Then koalas are herbivore mammals native to Australia. Herbivore mammal native to Australia. So mostly marsupials are mostly seen in Australia. India में नहीं है. Naturally marsupials नहीं है. So distributions, marsupials are mostly found in Australia, New Zealand, Tasmania, New Guinea, and neighboring islands. They are also present in North, South, and Central America. North, South, and Central America maybe they are present, right? Mostly present in the Australia, Tasmania, New Guinea, and neighboring islands, right? So characteristics of marsupials include small birth size, right? Short gestation period, जल्दी पेट से बाहर आते हैं, and the presence of pouches or protective skin folds used to protect offspring during their development outside the uterus. Outside the uterus. So unique reproductive anatomy and the lack of corpus callosum in their brains, right? That is small brains होता है marsupials में, right? Unique reproductive anatomy, right? These are the unique features of marsupials, right? Marsupials are mostly found in arid and semi-arid regions and not in mountain grasslands with no predators. So statement 2 गलत है, right? Marsupials not naturally found in India. So let's go and see the question. C. Marsupials are not naturally found in India. As marsupials can thrive only in mountain. No, they grow in arid regions, right? Kangaroos and all arid and semi-arid regions. So statement 2 is incorrect. Statement 2 is not correct, right? Statement 2 are correct. See, statement 1 and 2 are correct. Statement 2 is incorrect, right? So option A is eliminated, right? Statement 1 are correct and statement 2 is, see, statement 1 and 2 are correct. No, right? Then statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Statement 1 is correct and statement 2. So C is the answer, right? So that is marsupials, right? Then let's discuss about other, that is monotremes, right? So placental, marsupials and monotremes, again important. So monotremes are, ठीक है, mammals है. Monotremes are egg laying mammals. So जो mammals है वो egg, जैसे eggs generally कौन, birds, right? They lay eggs. So monotremes are egg laying mammals, right? They are most primitive mammals है, right? Egg laying mammals है, so most primitive. The type of birth evolve नहीं हुआ, right? So currently only 3 species of monotremes are extant. अभी सिर्फ 3 ही स्पीसीज है, राइट? भाई पुराना प्रिमिटिव मैमल्स है, राइट, एक्सटिंक्ट हो गए, राइट? सो व्हाट आर दोस स्पीसीज? दे आर डक बिल्ड प्लेटिपस, इंपॉर्टेंट, duck billed platypus, and 2 species of echidnas, right? Again, these are very important, echidnas. Let's look at the photos, right? And monotremes are found only in Australia and New Zealand. So India में है ही नहीं monotremes, right? या echidnas भी में भी क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. echidnas, they are not present in India. And duck billed platypus, they are not present in India. They are only present in Australia and New Guinea. Right? The word monotreme means one opening, right? ये काफी important. Monotreme means one opening. One opening is what? Which denotes that monotremes have only one opening, which they use for reproduction, excretion, urination, and egg laying. Right? See, सिर्फ one opening ही है, right? उसी से urination भी है, right? उसी से excretion भी है, and उसी से reproduction भी है, and उसी से egg laying भी है. So that is called monotreme, right? If we see humans have more than one opening, right? For urination, right? Humans use different opening, and for excretion, humans use different thing, right? So different holes. So monotreme means monotreme. Mono means one, treme means one opening. So that's why monotremes means. So like birds, reptiles, dinosaurs, etc., these species lay eggs to give birth. The eggshell are soft. The babies hatch the eggs and then rely on mothers by taking milk from, so milk ले रही है इसीलिए ये mammals है, right? Milk from mammary glands until they are large enough to feed themselves, right? So that are monotremes. Let's look at the photos, right, of monotremes. See, these are monotremes. Monotremes are, one is echidnas, right? One is echidnas, right? Echidnas again very important. अब देखो, echidnas have special feature, right? This feature, see, this is the small rat-like animal, right? And this is duck-billed platypus, right? Duck-billed platypus, right? यही दोनों दो monotrems है, right? So that makes these important, right? Echidnas and monotrems India में है ही नहीं, right? See, echidnas, right? These are echidnas, right? Echidnas, right? इंडिया में है नहीं, ऑस्ट्रेलिया एंड न्यू गुनिया में है. एंड दीज आर duck-billed platypus, duck-billed platypus, right? Duck-billed, these are monotrems, right? Monotrems, only one opening, right? Egg-laying mammals, right? Or most primitive mammals. Only two species are there, right? Echidnas and duck-billed platypus, right? So let's go to next. Now let's see next question. That is, see, which one of the following shows a unique relationship with an insect that has co-evolved with it, and that is only insect that can pollinate this tree? See, this is asked in UPSC 2024, right? It is covered in NCERT, and we have also covered in our earlier classes. That is the mutual relationship between fig tree and wasp, right? So fig is a answer. See, which one of the following shows unique relationship with an insect that has co-evolved with it, and that is only insect that can pollinate this tree? Only insect that can pollinate fig tree is wasp, right? So mutual relationship we have studied between fig tree and wasp, right? So in many species of fig trees, there is a mutual relationship between fig tree and its pollinator species wasp, right? Wasp. So in a given fig species, can be pollinated only by its partner wasp species and no other species. Fig flower is pollinated by wasp, and wasp lays eggs in a fig fruit, right? We have already discussed about fig tree mutualism, right? So that's why we are not investing more time here, right? Now let's move to next question. See, again, question asked in UPSC 2024, right? Consider the following. Parasitoid species are found in how many of the above kind of organisms, right? So parasitoid species किन above organisms में present है, right? So parasitoid species क्या है, right? वो discuss करना है पहले, right? So parasitoid are parasite species, right? Basically species, right, which live on other species and harm them, right? That is parasitoid species, right? अब देखो, we have already seen centipedes क्या है? Centipedes are carnivores, right? We have already discussed centipedes and millipedes, right? I have shown you the David Attenborough video, right? Centipedes, right? They are carnivorous animals, right? They parasites नहीं है, carnivorous animals है. And we have also studied termites. Termites क्या है? Detrivorous है, right? So they cannot be parasite, right? They are detrivores, and centipedes are carnivores, right? So they two, if we eliminate, all five is not correct. Only four is not correct. Only two and only three. So now let's understand about parasite species and then we'll answer it. See, a parasitoid is an organism that spends a significant portion of its life attached to or within a single host organism, eventually killing it, right? Parasitoid is an organism that spends a significant portion of its life attached to or within a single host organism, eventually killing it, right? Single host organisms attached to eventually kill bhi karega. So parasitoids have characteristics of both predators and parasites. So parasites क्या kill नहीं करेंगे, right? Parasites. So parasitoids are special features of parasites, right, which depends on a life attached to within a single host organism, right, and eventually killing it. So predator and parasite का दोनों characteristics है. So parasitoidism is a strategy employed by some insects where they use a host for development of their larvae, which eventually causes host deaths, right? Insects में mostly same, right? Parasitoids are commonly seen in insect species, particularly in wasps and flies, right? So parasitoidism, right? Parasitoids commonly seen in insect species, right? Wasps and flies में. right? Let's see the options. See, carabid beetles are a family of beetles that include many parasitoid species, right? Then centipedes are predators. They are carnivores adopted to eat broad range of prey, hence not parasite. So carnivores है भाई वो predators है, right? So ये नहीं है. Then some species of flies like Tachinid flies are parasitoid, right? So flies, insects, and all parasite. Termites are primarily detritivores, right? Consuming dead plants, dead wood at any level of decomposition. Hence, they are not parasitoid, right? So ये भी नहीं है, right? So wasps are one of the best known groups of parasitoidism, right? So wasps, parasitoidism. So most parasitoids are either wasps, bees, flies, few species of beetles, moths, twisted wing insects, worms, or other types of insects. So these are parasitoids, right? These are parasitoids. So the question is, again, we will eliminate beetles है, right? जो भी birds type of चीज है, insects type of चीज है, वो parasitoids है, right? Flies and wasps. So ये सब insects है, right? So we only include them. So only 3 are correct. So बाकी termites है, centipedes है, we will eliminate, right? So we need to know now. Let's discuss about centipedes, right? Termites we have already discussed, right? Centipedes. See, centipedes, right? See, let's look at the image. You will get clarity, right? See, these are centipedes, right? Centipedes, right? Centipedes, venomous animals, right? Right? And look, there are many types of centipedes. They are predators, right? We have already seen video on it, right? So now let's discuss about centipedes. See, centipedes, there are over 8,000 known species of centipedes worldwide, right? 8,000 से ज्यादा centipedes है, right? The word centipede means 100 legs. 100 legs. But not all centipedes have exactly 100 legs. Number of legs varies among different species from 30 to 354 legs, right? So, अब देखो ये सारे legs है, right? सारे legs. So 30 to 354 legs. So centipedes by hundreds of legs होता है, right? उनको centipedes बोलते हैं, right? And we have centipedes and millipedes भी है, right? So centipedes are carnivores, millipedes are, right, detritivores, right? We have discussed. So the body of a centipede is divided into segments. See, 1 segment, 2 segment, 3, 4 segments. Segments with each segment having a pair of legs attached to it. एक segment को एक pair of legs होंगे, right? They are centipedes. Centipedes are carnivores. They eat other animals, right? Their diet consists of insects, spiders, worms, lizards, frogs. So these are centipedes, right? And centipedes are efficient predators, right? Predators है ये, right? Using their venomous claws to paralyze and kill their prey before consuming. Centipedes are mostly nocturnal, that is active at night, right? Active at night, right? More than 8,000 centipedes हम गांव में खेत में centipedes देख भी सकते हैं, right? So these are centipedes and they are millipedes also, right? Centipede का relatives, right? So, and on the other hand, millipedes are not carnivores, right? They rely on dead leaves, etc., right? Detritivores है millipedes, right? So we have already discussed. Now let's see next question. See, this is question asked in UPSC 2024, right? With respect to Indian flying fox, right? Indian flying fox is placed under the vermin category of Wildlife Protection Act 1972. The Indian flying fox feeds on the blood of other animals. So let's study about Indian flying fox. Then we will answer the question, right? So Indian flying fox are bats, right? Indian flying fox bats है भाई. Flying fox क्यों है? इनका शक्ल fox की शक्ल जैसे है, right? And Indian flying, though they fly bats, right? So they are bats, also called as Great Indian fruit bat. Great Indian fruit bat क्यों है? We'll be discussing because ये they attack on fruits, right? Fruits of the plants, right? Plant का fruit nectar वगैरह पीते हैं, right? So it is one of the largest bats in the world, right? These bats are endemic to endemic to South Central Asia, found from Pakistan and China to Maldives Islands to the south. So endemic to South Central Asia. Right? Indian flying fox is generally considered a vermin as they raid orchards. The Indian flying fox comes under Schedule 2 of Wildlife Protection Act. Schedule 2 of Wildlife Protection Act में क्या है? Less protected animals. जो animals उनको vermin declare कर सकती है central government. Right? जैसे as per the act, central government may by notification declare any wild animal specified in Schedule 2 to be vermin for any area for any period of time as specified in the notification. Right? Hence, statement 1 is correct. Right? So these bats are keystone species known for their nectar and fruit eating habits. They contribute significantly to pollination and seed dispersal, thereby playing a vital role in maintaining ecosystem and health and biodiversity. Right? They maintain a frugivorous diet, that is, they eat fruits, supplementing it with insects as well as flowers containing juice and nectars. Right? Then concern is least concern by government vermin भी declare कर सकती है. Then they are under Schedule 2 of Wildlife Protection Act. Then Indian flying fox are highly social creatures living in large groups. These bats live in a vertical male dominator hierarchy system where higher ranked individuals occupy higher spots of the tree while lower ranked individuals remain on lower spots. Let's look at it. Okay, see. This is Indian flying fox. Indian flying fox. अब देखो bats है, right? See, shekel fox type shekel. So that's why Indian flying fox. And they are largest bats. See, their wings can expand up to 2 meters, right? जब fly करेंगे, right? And जब fly नहीं करेंगे, they hang upside down, right? क्योंकि जल्दी से release करके तुरंत fly कर सके, right? ताकि attacking eagles वगैरह से बचे, right? So they hang on trees like this, right? So they are bats. अब देखो, see, this is the bats. They are social animals, live in groups, right? Live in groups and they live in a social hierarchy. अब देखो एक पेड़ में मान ले ये ऐसा hang करेंगे, right? Here the most powerful they live on upper layers, right? And नीचे layers में they are young and less powerful, right? Males they hang in the upper layers. इस positions के लिए भी लड़ाई करते हैं ये वापस में, right? So social hierarchical animals, right? And जाके ग्रुप्स में रहते हैं, बहुत सारे रहते हैं, and they attack on fields, right? That's why governments they want to declare them as vermin, so that's why they are put under Schedule 2 of Wildlife Protection Act, right? That is with respect to Indian flying fox. Let's look at this. See, Indian flying fox is placed under vermin category in the Wildlife Protection Act as, right? The Indian flying fox feed on the blood of other animals. No, why? Yeah, feed on fruits, right? So this is incorrect. So statement 1, 2 are correct. No. Statement 2 are correct. No. Right? Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Yes. Statement 1 is incorrect. No. Option C is the answer. Right? Again, very good question. Right? Indian flying fox and vermin category, that is Schedule 2 of Wildlife Protection Act. Now let's see next. See, that is with reference to Gucci. Right? See, UPSC 2022 with reference to Gucci, sometimes seen in the news. Consider the following statements, right? Gucci mushrooms, right? Famous. So it is a fungus. Yes, any mushroom is a fungus, right? It grows in some Himalayan forest areas. Yes, right? Then it is commercially cultivated in Himalayan foothills of northeastern India. So northeast India में नहीं, and commercially cultivation नहीं हो रहा इसका, right? So this is incorrect. So 1 and 2 are correct. Right, so let's discuss about Gucci, right? See, Gucci mushrooms are known as Moriel mushrooms, is one of the costliest mushrooms in the world. One of the costliest mushrooms in the world because they commercially cultivate नहीं कर रहा है अभी, right? So one of the costliest mushroom in the world. Gucci mushroom is a fungus, like any mushroom is a fungus. For that matter, any mushroom is a fungus, right? It is grown in the foothills of Himalayas in Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand and Jammu and Kashmir. Right? So Himachal Pradesh, Himalayas में foothills में इन्हीं 3 states में grow हो रही है. Right? These mushrooms cannot be cultivated commercially and grow in conifer forests across temperate regions. Commercially grow नहीं कर सकते इनको. Right? It takes It takes months for villagers to collect enough of these mushrooms, dry them and bring them to the market. इसीलिए भाई सप्लाई है ही नहीं, इसीलिए काफी महंगा मशरूम्स है, राइट. हेल्थ बेनिफिट्स ऑफ गुच्ची मशरूम्स आर रिच इन पोटेशियम, vitamins and copper. They are also rich source of vitamin D apart from several B vitamins. It is further rich in antioxidants that prevent health issues including heart diseases and diabetes by removing reactive oxygen species that harm the body. Right? So these are Gucci. Right? Let's look at the photos. See, these are Gucci mushrooms. Right? These are Gucci mushrooms and Gucci mushroom benefits. Right? See, these influencers, they were talking about Gucci mushrooms and it was in news. Right? And PM Modi also in that year talked about Gucci mushrooms in one of these. Right? So these are Gucci mushrooms and they have very many health benefits, and like any mushroom, right, they are also fungus. Right? So now let's go and understand about mushrooms. See, let's understand about mushrooms. See, mushrooms are fungi that typically have a stem, a cap and gills. Right? Mushrooms are classified as fungi because they lack chlorophyll. Chlorophyll है नहीं, chlorophyll होता तो green होते, right? And cannot produce their food through photosynthesis. Photosynthesis से produce नहीं कर सकते, but food कैसे लेंगे? Right? They extract from the soil. Right? Soil से जितने भी nutrients वगैरह है, right? So they extract and they grow, right? So that's why mushrooms need soils to grow, right? बिना soil का mushroom grow नहीं कर सकते. Then mushrooms reproduce through asexual reproduction by spores, right? by spores से reproduce करेंगे. Then fungi, तो अब fungi के बारे में पढ़ रहे हैं तो fungi के भी पढ़ लेते थोड़ा. See, fungi belong to fungi kingdom, right? Fungi kingdom क्या है? All organisms are classified into 5 kingdoms, that is Monera, Protista, animal, plants and fungi. Right? ये 5 में divide किया गया, right? So animals, all animals come under this kingdom, right? Plants come under this kingdom and fungi another kingdom, right? Then Protista and Monera, right? Fungi vary from single-celled organisms yeast to complex multicellular organisms mushrooms. Fungi consist of yeast, molds, mushrooms, right? Fungi reproduce through spores or asexual reproduction, right? Applications: yeast in baking and brewing, right? Fungi are used in antibiotic production like penicillin, right? Antibiotic production, penicillin में fungi are used. The antibiotics में fungi can be used to make antibiotics. ये point भी याद करना है, right? ठीक है. So then let's look at another question on mushrooms asked in 2023. Some mushrooms have medicinal properties as some mushrooms have psychoactive properties as some mushrooms have insecticidal properties, some mushrooms have bioluminescent properties. So all 4 are correct, right? Mushroom का बहुत सारे species है, किसी ना किसी में ये सब features है, right? So mushrooms belong to fungi kingdom, right? Fungi, mushroom are fungi, ये याद करना है, and are widely used for its medicinal properties, nutritional benefits, psychoactive properties, insecticidal properties, and bioluminescent properties. Mushrooms like reishi, maitake, lion's mane are known for their medicinal properties like immune boosting, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidant effects. अगर देखा जाए तो गुच्ची mushrooms भी है, right? Then psychoactive properties means a drug or other substances that affects how the brain works and causes damages in mood, awareness, thoughts, feelings, and behavior, right? Psilocybin is a hallucinogenic chemical in certain mushrooms known as magic mushrooms. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Recently, an increasing number of mushrooms have been found to contain insecticidal compounds, right? Hence, statement 2 is correct, right? Then the 4th statement is a mushroom documentation project in the forests of Northeast India has revealed a bioluminescent or light emitting variety of mushrooms, right? So कुछ mushrooms है वो light bioluminescent and light emitting mushrooms भी है, right? This is like again simple question, right? Now let's see next. See, this is question asked in UPSC 2023. That is, some microorganisms can grow in environments with temperature above the boiling point of water. Some microorganisms can grow in environments with temperature. Some microorganisms, right? So all are correct. Let's see. microorganisms क्या है? Organisms which can be seen only through a microscope are called as microorganisms or microbes, right? Microorganisms are unicellular or single cell, right? Microorganisms are classified into four major groups. They are bacteria, protozoa, some fungi, right? जैसे mushrooms है वो microorganisms नहीं है, right? Some fungi and some algae are microorganisms, right? So microorganisms क्या है? Bacteria, protozoa, some fungi and some algae, right? अब viruses are also microscopic, but वो living organisms नहीं है viruses, right? क्योंकि खुद replicate नहीं कर सकता, उनको replicate करने के लिए other living organisms चाहिए. We have already discussed it. So viruses are also microscopic, but they are not considered microorganisms because they differ in their reproduction, as they reproduce only in the cells of living organisms, right? उनका host चाहिए, right? So these living organisms or host organisms can be bacteria, right? Fungi, plants, animals, protozoa, right? So this is about viruses, right? So viruses microorganisms consider नहीं करते, right? So microorganisms are bacteria, protozoa, some fungi and some algae, right? So अब देखो, see bacteria are microscopic single-celled prokaryotic organism, right? Being prokaryotic organism, they do not possess true nucleus and they do not have membranes bound organelles like mitochondria. See, these we will be discussing in science and tech course, right? With respect to single celled, unicellular, multicellular, like nucleus किसमें है नहीं है, mitochondria किसमें है and all, right? We will be discussing in science and tech. Then protozoa are single celled eukaryotic organisms, right? Fungi, microscopic fungi भी है, yeast वगैरह, and few algae are microscopic, right? Then see, some microorganisms known as extremophiles thrive in environments with temperatures above the boiling point of water. These organisms are adapted to survive in extreme heat. Right? Thermophiles are a type of extremophile that thrive in hot environments such as hot springs, geothermal vents. Right? Thermophiles are a type of extremophile that thrive in hot environments such as hot springs, geothermal vents. Some microorganisms known as cryophiles can grow in environments with the temperature below freezing point of water, right? Then some microorganisms like acidophiles show optimal growth in highly acidic environments even below pH 3 environment. So microorganisms से कई भी grow करेंगे, right? कुछ ना कुछ microorganisms, right? हम मार्स में भी कभी देख सकते हैं, right? So that is the microorganisms, right? Then next is with respect to peatland. See, UPSC 2024, right? Question: which one of the following is the world's largest tropical peatland which holds 3 years worth of global emissions of fossil fuel? So that year this was in current affairs, right? So Congo Basin, ठीक है, peatland से, and I have given information with respect to peatlands क्या होती है, right? So what are peatlands? So you can just go through the notes and you can understand it, right? So Congo Basin, right, कहाँ है, right? All these things, right? You can just simply go through and read, and right. And one thing you need to remember here is peatlands, ठीक है? Peatlands naturally forested of Europe में भी है, tropical peatlands भी है, permafrost peatlands of Russia में भी है, Canada में भी है, and high mountain peatlands in Andes and Himalayas, right? So diverse है, not just in tropical areas, right? They are present in tropical forests, they are present in, right, ice covered oceans, right? Russia में भी है, Canada में भी है, high mountain peatlands भी है, right? That you need to take care, right? And carbon storage वगैरह, right? Then next is with respect to palm oil, right? Question asked in UPSC 2021, right? Again, palm oil are very important, right? So palm oil के बारे में भी, right? So palm oil tree is native to Southeast Asia. No, they are not native to Southeast Asia. They are introduced in Southeast Asia, right? So ये पता होते ही, right, आपका क्वेश्चन हो जाएगा. Palm oil is raw material for some industries producing lipstick and perfumes. Palm oil is used in produce biodiesel, right? So, right, let's look at palm oil, right? So palm oil is derived from oil palm tree which is native to West Africa, right? Native to West Africa है, right? Native to West Africa से introduce किया गया, and grows best in tropical climates with abundant water. It was imported to Southeast Asia in the mid 19th century, and now more than 80% of palm oil is grown in Southeast Asia, with Indonesia and Malaysia leading the world in production of palm oil. Right? अब देखो ये 80% प्रोडक्शन इधर हो रहा है तो लोग सोचेंगे नेटिव टू उधर ही है, बट इट इज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड देयर, राइट? सो 80% प्रोडक्शन इन इंडोनेशिया एंड मलेशिया में सबसे ज्यादा palm oil प्रोडक्शन हो रही है, right? The growth has been rapid and widespread, and a natural forest and all that live in it face dire future, right? So basically जो evergreen forests of Indonesia and Malaysia उनको wipe out करके palm oil cultivation replace किया, right? So then in India, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and Kerala accounts for 98 production of palm oil, right? 98% production of palm oil इन states में हो रहा है. See, palm oil and its derivatives are widely used in detergents, cosmetic products like lipsticks, creams and perfumes, right? Palm oil is used in lipstick as it holds color well, right? Doesn't melt at high temperatures and has a smooth application and virtually no taste. Palm oil is used in perfumes, deodorants and detergents as it makes them more effective by helping the fragrance to last longer, right? Palm oil can be processed into biodiesel through a chemical called as transesterification. Indonesia and Malaysia implemented palm oil based biodiesel programs to reduce reliance on fossil fuels, right? Then India का national mission on edible oil palm oil, right? Edible oil palm oil mission भी है. Government has launched it in 2021, right? 2021, right? That's why question is there in 2021, right? Right? With the aim to increase oil palm cultivation and crude palm oil production. Aim to increase oil palm cultivation and crude palm oil production. Right? It is a centrally sponsored scheme. Centrally sponsored scheme with a special focus on Northeast region and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Special focus on Northeast region and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Right? So to increase area of oil palm to 10 lakh hectares from 3.5 lakh hectares, right? By 2025 tak, right? That means additional of 6.5 lakh hectares, right? To increase crude palm oil production from इतने टन से, so that means even 11 lakh tons बढ़ाना है by 2025-26, right? Then increase consumer awareness to maintain consumption level, right? 19 kg per person, right? Then salient features include increasing production of seedlings by establishment of seed gardens and nurseries of oil palm, etc. Then need for scheme, right? India is the world's largest palm oil importer. World's largest palm oil importer. So इसीलिए ये scheme काफी important है, right? Around 9 million tons of palm oil is imported every year. That is 50% of total imports of edible oil, right? So जो भी oil में 56%, so basically बहुत सारे palm oil import कर रहे हैं, right? So that's why this scheme is to reduce dependence on imports, right? Then major challenges are impacts biodiversity as well as soil conditions. Then water guzzling crop. Oil palm trees require 300 to 200 liters of oil. Right? Water guzzling crop, it needs oil, deforestation, right? Etc. Soil conditions. So that is with respect to palm oil. Again, palm oil is very important, right? So now let's see next. See, this is question asked in 2023. Which of the following organisms perform waggle dance for others of their kin to indicate direction and the distance to the source of food? Right? Waggle dance, that we know, that is honeybees, right? So waggle dance is a form of communication, right? Form of communication used by honeybees to convey information about the location of resources like food, water or nesting spots to other members of the colony, right? So it is a form of communication, right? It is one of the most intricate forms of bee dance communication, which communicates the bearing, distance, location, direction and quality of valuable resources, right? सब दूसरे उनको बताना है, right? So the waggle dance was famously decoded by Austrian scientist Carl von Frisch, right? So that is with respect to waggle dance and honeybees, right? So with this, this is a last question of the notes which is provided to you, that is 520 pages handwritten notes, right? Apart from this, there are few other questions also, right, with related to species, right? So that is there in another PDF, right? So that PDF will be provided to you, available on my Telegram channel, right? You can download it from there, right? So now let's discuss questions from that PDF. See, these are few questions, right, which are asked in UPSC based on species only, right? We'll quickly discuss them. See, this is question asked in UPSC 2020. Consider the following are naturally found in India. Naturally found in India. See, we have already discussed about pygmy hog. Pygmy hog are naturally found in India, right? So 3 नहीं है तो इसको eliminate करो. Option C we have eliminated, right? Now let's study about other options, right? जैसे star tortoise, monitor lizard and spider monkey, right? We'll be discussing. See, star tortoise again an important species. Star tortoise or Indian star tortoise, right? It name comes from star-like pattern that feature on its high domed shell. Because of these features, it is popular in world trade in exotic pets. So let's look at the image. You will get clarity. See, these are star tortoise, right? So star-like formation on its shell, right? We have already discussed about tortoise and turtles may difference, right? These star-like design on these are star tortoise, right? So let's discuss about star tortoise. Star tortoise, right? Distribution, it is endemic, that means उधर ही find होता है, endemic to subcontinent and resides in arid pockets of northwest India, bordering Pakistan, South India and Sri Lanka, right? South India and Sri Lanka में भी होता है. However, members of the species have also been found in people's home as far as USA and Canada, right? भाई इनको ट्रेड करते हैं, right? Because दिखने में अच्छे होते हैं, right? इनको घर पे रखते हैं, right? So popular in world's trade in exotic pets, right? So that's why this becomes important also, right? इनको स्मगल वगैरह करते हैं ज्यादा, right? So USA कनाडा में इनको इंडिया से लेके जाते हैं. So Indian star tortoise. So star tortoise endemic to India, right? Habitat is semi-arid lowland forest, thorn scrub forest, semi-desert and arid grassland. So basically desert-like conditions, right? जहाँ पेड़ वगैरह ज्यादा नहीं है उधर होते हैं star tortoise, right? Star tortoise are mainly herbivores like other tortoise and mostly eat grasses, herbaceous leaves and flowers. Eat grasses, herbaceous leaves. Star tortoise are generally crepuscular, which means they are active in the early morning and late afternoon during dry hot weather, and their condition is vulnerable, right? Cites Appendix 1 Wildlife Protection Act Schedule 1, right? So vulnerable है, right? Star tortoise. So how to remember it? See, vulnerable star tortoise. See, star is you make like this, right? This is star. So basically you are making V, right? V, reverse V, again either also V, right? V and connecting it. So this is like vulnerable. So V is vulnerable. So star tortoise are vulnerable, right? Vulnerable, right? So right. Then let's discuss next, that is monitor lizard. Monitor lizard, right? They are group of large reptiles. Lizard है, lizard reptiles है, monitor lizard बड़े lizard है, right? They are known for their distinctive appearance with long bodies, powerful limbs and well-developed tails, right? They are considered to be most intelligent of all lizards and some of the most intelligent reptiles in general, right? So monitor lizards, right? Monitor lizards, ठीक है, ये 3 to 4 feet होते हैं, right? बड़े lizards होते हैं, right? 3 to 4 feet lizards होते हैं and most intelligent species, right? इंडिया में मिलते हैं. They are mainly native to Asia, Africa and Australia, right? हर जगह. India is home to 4 monitor lizards: the Bengal monitor, the Asia water monitor, the yellow monitor and the desert monitor, right? They are protected under Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act. The species are hunted for medical purposes and also for consumption. So खाते भी है इनको, right? So monitor lizard, let's look at the image, right? See, these are monitor lizards. Monitor lizards, right? So lizards है, बड़े lizards है, right? One of the intelligent lizards है, right? So 3 to 4 feet लंबे वगैरह होता है, right? So they are found in India. So these are monitor lizards. So now let's look at the question. See, that means naturally found in India. Yes, star tortoise are also naturally found. So we'll eliminate this. Then monitor lizards are also naturally found. So 2 is there. right? And spider monkey are not naturally found. So 4 we will eliminate. So 1, 2, 3 are naturally found, right? So we have studied. So pygmy hog we have already discussed, right? Pygmy hog, smallest wild pig, right? They are naturally found in India, right? Critically endangered, right? So this is again, these three are important species. So we have studied about them. Then next, let's discuss question asked in 2014, that is, other than poaching, what are the possible reasons for the decline of population of Ganges river dolphins, right? Ganges river dolphins we have discussed. That's question. So either discuss it. Construction of dams and barrages on rivers, yes. Increase in the population of crocodiles in rivers, no, it is incorrect. क्यों पढ़ेंगे. Getting trapped in fishing nets accidentally, use of synthetic fertilizers, yes, right? So that is question 1, 3, 4 is the answer, right? So this is a trap, right? This is a trap. Increase in the population of crocodiles of rivers, right? Actually, crocodiles का population भी बढ़ नहीं रही है, right? And they are not direct main cause नहीं है, because population कम क्यों हो रहा है? Because of humans, not because of other animals, etc. Right? So Ganges river dolphins का population कम होना is morally of a anthropogenic reasons, right? So that is C. Construction of dams and barrages on rivers leads to fragmentation of habitat and isolates population. It also prevents seasonal migration. The survival of Ganges river dolphin is threatened by unintentional killing through entanglement in fishing gear. Entanglement in fishing gear. Right? The Ganges river dolphins can only live in fresh water. Can only live in fresh water. Right? Use of synthetic fertilizers and other agricultural chemicals in crop fields in the vicinity of rivers leads to runoff of agricultural pollutants into rivers, which are harmful to Ganges river dolphins, right? Then increase in population of crocodiles in rivers are not the reason for decline. In fact, there is no increase in crocodile population in Ganges river. The main reason for decline of population of Ganges river dolphins are human centric, right? Construction of dams, hunting for dolphin oil, fish gear entanglement, etc. are right. Hence, statement 2 is incorrect. Right? Then see, next is, see, a sandy and saline area is the natural habitat of an Indian animal species. The animal has no predators in that area, but its existence is threatened due to destruction of habitat. Right? क्या है? See, sandy and saline area. Right? That is Kutch area में रहती है Indian wild ass. Right? Indian wild ass, again very important species. Right? So now let's discuss about Indian wild ass and other. ठीक है, वाइल्ड बफेलो भी, वाइल्ड बोर भी क्या है, इंडियन गजेल भी क्या है, विल बी डिस्कसिंग, राइट? सी, इंडियन वाइल्ड एस is a subspecies of Asian wild ass, right? This is ass is what? Donkey, right? So it is locally called as kur in Gujarat region, right? So Indian wild ass कहाँ है? Gujarat region में, right? Distribution: the kur or Indian wild ass was formerly spread in arid zone of northwest India and Pakistan and westwards towards Central Asia, right? But अभी it is now limited to little ran of Kutch in Gujarat. ठीक है, पहले एरिड रीजन्स ऑफ इंडिया, पाकिस्तान, सेंट्रल एशिया में मिलती थी, अभी लिमिटेड टू लिटिल रैन ऑफ कच्छ इन गुजरात, राइट? सो हैबिटेट डेजर्ट एंड ग्रासलैंड इकोसिस्टम्स, राइट? कच्छ एरिया में डेजर्ट एंड ग्रासलैंड इकोसिस्टम में, राइट? इट पोसेस रिमार्केबल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स सच एज एबिलिटी टू सर्वाइव इन एक्सट्रीम कंडीशंस ऑफ गुजरात वाइल्ड एस सैंक्चुरी. गुजरात वाइल्ड एस सैंक्चुरी भी है, राइट? एंड देयर स्टेटस इज नियर थ्रेटेंड, राइट? नियर थ्रेटेंड, राइट? साइड्स में अपेंडिक्स 2 में है, वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट शेड्यूल 1 में, राइट? इकोलॉजिकल सिग्निफिकेंट: इट इज हेल्पफुल इन सीड डिस्पर्सल इन द एरिया which helps in promoting vegetation growth and diversity, right? Threats are increased human presence both for salt farming and agriculture. Extensive cattle grazing poses major threat to delicate ecosystem and its wildlife. So let's look at the image, you will get clarity. See, this is Indian wild ass, right? Indian wild ass present in Gujarat, right? Present in Gujarat and they are near threatened category में, right? Near threatened category, right? Important species गुजरात में रैन ऑफ कच्छ एरिया में ही मिलती है अभी. टॉक अबाउट इंडियन वाइल्ड बफेलो, राइट? सी, फॉर PYQs we are not just covering the explanation of the option which is correct, rather trying to cover all the options, right? Next time question can be on these, right? So again, Indian wild buffalo, again this is very important. Important क्यों है? अभी इनका पॉपुलेशन काफी कम हो गया, राइट? दे आर ऑलमोस्ट इन एक्सटिंक्ट स्टेट इन स्टेट ऑफ छत्तीसगढ़, छत्तीसगढ़ का ये स्टेट एनिमल है, राइट। उधर ऑलमोस्ट एक्सटिंक्ट हो गया। असम से कुछ वाइल्ड बफेलोस को लाया गया, फिर उनको ब्रीडिंग करके बर्थ वगैरह कंट्रोल प्रोग्राम में जा रहा है। तो दैट्स व्हाई वी विल स्टडी इंडियन वाइल्ड बफेलो, also called Asian buffalo or wild water buffalo because they live in water, right? So is a large bovine native to Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia. IUCN status is endangered. Wildlife Protection Act Schedule 1, right? Within India, until half a century ago, 50 साल पहले तक, there is evidence of good population of wild buffalo in Arunachal Pradesh, West Bengal, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra and Bihar, right? In some areas में होते थे. But the numbers of buffalo in the states kept decreasing. Experts say that the pure breed of wild buffalo in India is now left only in Assam and Chhattisgarh. Right? So Assam and Chhattisgarh में ही अभी, right? It is state animal of Chhattisgarh. Right? So इनका अब छत्तीसगढ़ में ऑलमोस्ट एक्सटिंक्ट हो गया, तो क्या किया, अस्साम से लेके गया, ठीक है, उनको बर्नावपरा वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी में इनको ग्रो किया, जो अस्साम से लाया, राइट। एंड 2 wild buffalo calves are born in Barnavapara Wildlife Sanctuary of Chhattisgarh, have kindled hope of conservation of highly endangered animal species in Chhattisgarh, right? Highly endangered animal species, right? Almost extinct हो गया छत्तीसगढ़ में, right? लाके अभी रिवाइव कर रहा है, where Barnavapara Wildlife Sanctuary. So it was in news, right? So that's why it is important. Wildlife Sanctuary is also important, right? So that is there, right? Indian wild buffalo. Let's look at the image. See, this is Indian wild buffalo or Indian wild water buffalo because they are good swimmers, spend good amount of time on inside water, right? So they are Indian wild buffalo. They are special horns, right? Bade horns hai, right? With shape like this. So these are Indian wild buffalo. Indian wild buffalo, right? So now let's go to the notes. Indian wild buffalo. Now Indian wild boar, right? Indian wild boar. Boar is what? Pig, right? Indian wild pig, right? Wild pig. They are well known for destruction of crops. Destruction of crops, right? So let's study. So wild boar are the largest of wild pigs, right? Wild pigs, right? They are mainly found in high crops, right? And causes large damage to agricultural crops such as rice, sugarcane. See, high crops, ताकि लोग ना दिखे, and इनको उखाड़ देती है, right? खाती है. तो and IUCN status is least concern. Least concern. In fact, many state governments, they give permits to kill, right? Many farmers, they fence their crops to protect the crops from wild boar, Indian wild boar or wild pigs, right? So they are least concern. So it is in news recently, that is Kerala government wants the center to declare wild boar as vermin, right? Vermin कब declare कर सकते हैं? Schedule 2 animals को, right? Under Wildlife Protection Act, as per the section 62 of Wildlife Protection Act, according to this section, Union government can notify any wild animal in Schedule 2 of the Act as vermin for a period of time in an area, right? So अब केरला गवर्नमेंट क्या बोल रही है कि भाई गिव दैट पावर, वर्मिन डिक्लेयर करना सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट क्यों कर रही है? इतने सारे एनिमल्स है, इतने सारे वो है, गिव दैट पावर टू द चीफ वाइल्ड लाइफ वार्डन, right? The state government wanted the powers to be given to chief wildlife warden. Chief wildlife warden state government के अंदर काम करेगा, right? So that's what is proposed, right? So ये point भी important है. अभी vermin कौन डिक्लेयर करता है? सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट डिक्लेयर करता है अभी. So वो डिबेट में, so question can be asked, right? Then next is Indian gazelle. So let's look at wild pig also. Photo Indian. So this is Indian wild boar, right? So Indian wild pig, right? Destroyer of crops, right? Crops like rice, sugarcane, etc., right? Then next is Indian gazelle or chinkara, right? Chinkara or Indian gazelle is native to India, Pakistan and Afghanistan and Iran, right? There are 6 subspecies of these. Deccan chinkara and Gujarat chinkara are found in India, right? Deccan chinkara ranges from Ganges Valley to Deccan Plateau. Gujarat chinkara is found in Thar Desert, Rann of Kutch, Ketiwar and Saurashtra region, right? So chinkara are basically found in Deccan region and the Gujarat region, right? So arid forests and deserts are habitat they are size species and avoids human habitation. Their concern is least concern and schedule 1 animal size. So let's look at the photos, you will get more clarity. See, this is Chinkara or Indian gazelle. See, unique for its head. See, Indian gazelle or Chinkara, right? They are least concern, right? Present in Gujarat region and the Deccan region also, right? Now look at the next question. Question asked in 2010. Consider the following pairs: protected area and well known for. See, Pitarkanika, Orissa, well known for saltwater crocodile. Yes, saltwater crocodile. Then Desert National Park of Rajasthan, Great Indian Bastard, we have discussed. And Eraviculum, Kerala, Hello gibbon. See, Hello gibbon is found in Northeast India, right? Kerala में नहीं है. So 3 is eliminated, right? 1 and 2 are correct. So 1 and 2 option B, right? We have discussed. तो इसीलिए ये सब species है, उधर जाके refer करो, right? So that's it. Now let's move to next question. See, again, saltwater crocodile. अब देखो saltwater crocodile कितने बार आ रहा है? So this is very important, right? So found in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, yes, right? And shrew and tapir are found in Western Ghats of Malabar region, right? Yes, it is also correct, right? 1 and 2, right? Shrew क्या है, tapir क्या है? Let's look at the images, you will get clarity. See, this is shrew or Malabar shrew. Malabar shrew. Shrew is what? Rat-like animal, right? Rat-like animal. Shrew, इनका मुंह थोड़ा special होता है, right? So Malabar shrew are present all over the world, right? So Malabar area में Malabar shrew present है, right? And next is, see, Malabar tapir or Asian tapir, right? So tapir, see, this is pig-like animal with a unique face, right? Unique face. So Malabar tapir, so they are present in Western Ghats, Malabar region, right? So shrew and tapir are found in Western Ghats of Malabar region. Yes, Western Ghats of Malabar region में present है. Then see, question asked in 2001. The class of animals known as marsupials is a characteristic feature of Australia. अब देखो, marsupials question is asked in 2023. 2001 में UPSC already पूछ चुका है. अगर marsupials क्या है सिर्फ वो पता होता ना हमें, right? We would have easily answered the question. So PYQs, that's why it is important, right? Then in 1998, question is asked: a tree species in Mauritius failed to reproduce because of the extinction of fruit-eating bird. Fruit-eating bird, right? So tree species failed to reproduce because of extinction of fruit-eating bird. Which one of the following was that bird, right? That is dodo. Dodo, we have studied a bird of Mauritius, right? So because dodo extinct हो गया, तो भाई ये एक ट्री स्पीसीज है वो रिप्रोड्यूस नहीं कर पा रही है. सो डोडोस प्लेड इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. दैट्स व्हाई कंजर्वेशन ऑफ बर्ड्स इज इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट? सो डोडो is in news this year also, so this is important, right? We have already discussed about dodo, right? Then in the context of Indian wildlife, flying fox. See, flying fox, Indian flying fox, right, is what? Bat. अब देखो क्वेश्चन 2024 में, राइट, 29 का क्वेश्चन, 2009 का क्वेश्चन पूछा है, राइट? हमें इतना पता होता है इंडियन फ्लाइंग फॉक्स क्या है, क्या करती है, बेसिक्स, राइट? वी वुड हैव इजीली आंसर्ड क्वेश्चन इन 2024, राइट? देन नेक्स्ट इज विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू vultures, right? Vultures, which used to be very common in Indian countrysides some years ago, are rarely seen nowadays. This is attributed to mostly, that is, a drug used in cattle owners for treating their diseases of cattle, right? Diclofenac and all we have already discussed, right, while discussing about vultures, right? Then next is, which of the following state lion-tailed macaque found in its natural habitat? So this is found in 3 states only, right? Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Western Ghats state है. So 1, 2, 3 is the correct answer, right? Right. After that we have species recovery program. Again, very important. Question has not been asked, but anytime question can be asked. But species recovery program उससे direct नहीं आ रहा है, तो species तो पूछ ही रहा है UPSC, right? कुछ ना कुछ. We have covered almost all the species. जो बचा है वो इधर कवर करेंगे. So species recovery program क्या है? Is a one of the 3 components of integrated development of wildlife habitat. See, integrated development of wildlife habitat एक scheme है, right? Scheme है started in 2008-9, right? उसका ये component है species recovery program, right? इसमें क्या है? कोई भी endangered species है इंडिया में, उनको रिकवरी में हेल्प करेंगे, राइट? गवर्नमेंट, राइट? सो इंटीग्रेटेड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ वाइल्ड लाइफ हैबिटेट्स was started in 2008-9 as a centrally sponsored scheme. As a centrally sponsored scheme, right? IDWH is meant for providing support to, right? इसमें तीन components है, तीन components है. एक क्या है? That is first component is protected areas support करना, providing support to protected areas like national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, conservation reserves and community reserves except tiger reserves. Tiger reserves के लिए, right? नेशनल टाइगर कंजर्वेशन अथॉरिटी है, प्रोजेक्ट टाइगर के अंदर सपोर्ट कर ही रहे हैं. सो वन कंपोनेंट इज इंटीग्रेटेड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ वाइल्ड लाइफ हैबिटेट्स में प्रोटेक्टेड एरियाज को सपोर्ट करना, नेशनल एक्सेट्रा. देन सेकंड कंपोनेंट इज प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ वाइल्ड लाइफ आउटसाइड प्रोटेक्टेड एरियाज. ठीक है, प्रोटेक्टेड एरियाज को करना, आउटसाइड प्रोटेक्टेड एरियाज को करना, दैट इज सेकंड कंपोनेंट. एंड थर्ड कंपोनेंट इज रिकवरी प्रोग्राम फॉर सेविंग एंडेंजर्ड स्पीसीज एंड देयर हैबिटेट. सो दिस इज थर्ड कंपोनेंट. सो थर्ड कंपोनेंट यही है, ये कंपोनेंट ही स्पीसीज रिकवरी प्रोग्राम है. Right, so three components of integrated development for development of wildlife habitat. Integrated development of wildlife habitat, right? So अब उसमें क्या क्या species recovery program currently has 22 species. They are 23 species. They are, अब देखो सब हमने कवर किया. See, Asian wild buffalo we have covered, Asiatic lion we have covered, Shanghai deer we have covered, dugong we have covered, edible nest swiftlet we will be covering now. Right, Gangetic river dolphin, great Indian bastard hungul, one-horned rhino, Jordan's cursor bird, right, critically endangered we have covered, Malabar civet we have covered, right, marine turtles we have covered, Nicobar megapod we will be covering now, Nilgiri thirds, snow leopard, swamp deer, vultures, northern river terrapin, right, clouded leopard, Arabian sea, humpback whale, red panda and caracal we will be covering now. Right, so these are 22 you need to remember. Right, ठीक है. अब देखो लाइन है, टाइगर नहीं है. राइट, स्पीसीज रिकवरी प्रोग्राम टाइगर नहीं है. राइट, सो यू नीड टू बी माइंडफुल, सबको थोड़ा याद करना है. राइट, क्या है क्या नहीं है. राइट, गेंजेटिक रिवर डॉल्फिन है, इंडियन बास्टर्ड है, हंगुल है, राइट, वन हॉर्न राइनो है. राइट, सो यू नीड टू रिमेंबर द 22 स्पीसीज हियर. राइट, छोटा मोटा क्या है क्या नहीं है. राइट, सो नाउ लेट्स डिस्कस. सी, दिस इज एडिबल नेस्ट स्विफ्टलेट. राइट, एक छोटा सा बर्ड है. Right, so which is present in South Asia में present है, Southeast Asia. Right, also known as white nest swiftlet. Right, white nest swiftlet. अब ये क्या है? ठीक है, edible nest. Edible nest जो ये nest बनाती है, right, जो swiftlet है जो nest बनाती है, that is with its saliva. saliva से बनाती है. Right, bird का saliva से. Right, अब उस saliva का nest है, उसको वो famous है soups जैसे खाते हैं. So खाने के लिए. So edible nest. So जो nest है that is edible, right, and swiftlet is bird, right, और white nest swiftlet, white nest क्यों saliva से बनाती है, the nest is white in color. So white nest swiftlet is a small bird of the swift family found in Southeast Asia, right. It's opaque and whitish bird nest, right, opaque and whitish bird nest is made exclusively of birds solidified saliva, right, solidified saliva, and is a main ingredient of bird nest soup बनाते a delicacy of Chinese cuisines. So इसीलिए भाई इस nest के लिए इन birds को exploitation किया जाता है. Right, so that makes and IUCN status least concern है because Southeast Asia में इनको grow करते हैं. Right, अभी इंडिया में क्या हो रहा था, इंडिया में अंडमान एंड निकोबार में, right, इन नेस्ट के लिए इन बर्ड्स को, राइट, नेस्ट एक्सप्लॉइट कर रहे थे. अब बर्ड्स बिना नेस्ट का क्या करेंगे, तो उनका पॉपुलेशन डिक्लाइन हो रहा था. तो गवर्नमेंट ने कंजर्वेशन के लिए क्या किया, बोला कि लोगों को एंकरेज करो, राइट, लोगों को एंकरेज करो इन बर्ड्स को पालने के लिए. राइट, तो उसके लिए शेड्यूल 1 से इनको हटाओ, शेड्यूल 2 में रखो. राइट, शेड्यूल 2 में रखो सो दैट दे कल्टिवेट नेस्ट, जो इनका नेस्ट है उनको सूप के लिए लोग भेज देंगे. तो कम से कम पॉपुलेशन तो बढ़ेगा. जो वाइल्ड में है स्विफ्टलेट एनिमल्स, बर्ड्स जो है वाइल्ड में है वो तो ग्रो करेंगे, उनको तो डिस्ट्रॉय नहीं करेंगे. राइट, सो दिस इज लीस्ट कंसर्न बिकॉज इन साउथ ईस्ट एशिया दे आर बीइंग ग्रोन. राइट, सो इन इंडिया edible nest swiftlets are found in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. These birds under threat due to their nest being exported to China for bird's nest soup. राइट, सो गवर्नमेंट ने अलग स्ट्रेटजी लिया, लोगों को बोला कि ग्रो कराओ. राइट, लोगों को बोला भाई इनको डोमेस्टिकेट कर सके. राइट, ताकि वाइल्ड में जो स्विफ्टलेट्स है उनको नेट्स को तो डिस्ट्रॉय नहीं करेंगे, राइट? सो लेट्स लुक एट द बर्ड, यू विल गेट मोर पिक्चोरियल मेमोरी. See, this is edible nest swiftlet. See, this is the nest, right? ट्रांसपेरेंट व्हाइट कलर नेस्ट खुद का सलाइवा से बनाती है, राइट? ये नेस्ट है, राइट? छोटा सा बर्ड है, राइट? अब इस नेस्ट को लोग बेचेंगे, राइट? काफी एक्सपेंसिव सूप बनेगा. सी, दिस इज द नेस्ट एंड दिस इज द सूप, राइट? सो इन सूप्स के लिए अंडमान में दे आर एक्सप्लॉइटिंग इट, राइट? सो नाउ गवर्नमेंट हैज टेकन अलो देम टू ग्रो, राइट? बर्ड्स को ग्रो करके बेच दो, उनको पैसा भी मिलेगा, बर्ड्स पॉपुलेशन में भी वो नहीं कर होगा, राइट? सो दैट इज एडिबल नेस्ट. नेस्ट को नेस्ट एडिबल है इनका एंड स्विफ्टलेट है, राइट? ये लीस्ट कंसर्न है बिकॉज अदर कंट्रीज में, राइट, इट इज बीइंग ग्रोन, राइट? नाउ लेट्स सी नेक्स्ट, दैट इज निकोबार मेगापोड, राइट? निकोबार मेगापोड is a brownish bird with a small gray head and massive legs and feet. It builds large mound for a nest from where the newly hatched chicks dig themselves out and become immediately independent. Vulnerable है वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट. सो निकोबार मेगापोड है, निकोबार एरिया में प्रेजेंट है, राइट? सो लेट्स लुक एट द इमेज, यू विल गेट क्लैरिटी. इतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. सी, दिस इज निकोबार मेगापोड, राइट? निकोबार मेगापोड क्या है? एक बर्ड है, राइट? थोड़ा बड़ा बर्ड है, राइट? स्मॉल एंड लार्ज बॉडी, राइट? लार्ज फीट. अब देखो ये ग्राउंड में इनका नेस्ट बनाती है एंड उन ग्राउंड में नेस्ट है वो थोड़ा थ्रेटन है. भाई ग्राउंड में नेस्ट है तो कोई भी एनिमल या इंसान जाके इनको डिस्ट्रॉय कर सकता है, राइट? सो दिस इज निकोबार मेगापोड. इस रिकवरी प्रोग्राम में निकोबार मेगापोड है, उनको रिकवर करना है बिकॉज दे आर फेसिंग थ्रेट. देन नेक्स्ट इज कैरेकल, राइट? कैरेकल अगेन इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज दिस इज रिसेंटली एडेड अंडर स्पीसीज रिकवरी प्रोग्राम, राइट? 2021 में ऐड किया. सो कैरेकल क्या है? कैरेकल इज ए मीडियम साइज लोकली थ्रेटेंड कैट स्पीसीज, राइट? लोकली थ्रेटेंड है, इंडिया में थ्रेटेंड है ये, राइट? इंडिया में थ्रेटेंड है, वो लेवल में थ्रेटेंड नहीं है, राइट? इन इंडिया इट इज कॉल्ड सिया घोष. द पर्शियन नेम दैट ट्रांसलेट्स एज ब्लैक ईयर, राइट? ब्लैक ईयर्स में इसको जो देखते इमेज देखेंगे यू विल गेट क्लैरिटी. डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, इट इज फाउंड इन सेवरल डजन कंट्रीज across Africa, Middle East, Central and South Asia. In India, they are found in states of Rajasthan, Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. Right? Rajasthan, Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh में India में. Right? So, caracal, cat. Caracal is cat. CACA. Right? Cat species. Right? Caracals are adapted to potentially harsh environments of savanna, semi-desert, dry woodland, arid hilly steppe and dry mountains. Right? Caracals are nocturnal hunters and eat any prey they can catch like mongoose, rodents, monkeys. Least concern because by dozens of उधर है but इंडिया में threatened है. वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट शेड्यूल 1 इंडिया में threatened है, राइट? इंडिया में पॉपुलेशन कैरेकल्स का काफी कम हो रहा है, राइट? टू रिकवर स्पीसीज रिकवर प्रोग्राम में, राइट? सो लोकली थ्रेटेंड है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि ये IUCN में लीस्ट कंसर्न है बिकॉज दे आर प्रेजेंट इन मेनी स्टेट्स, राइट? मेनी कंट्रीज, बहुत सारा पॉपुलेशन है, right? So that's why. So let's look at the image of caracal. See, this is caracal, right? A cat, right? See, special feature is the hair on its ears, right? So caracal, right? Hair, black hair, caracal, kala, right? Kala, right? Black hair, caracal, right? Cat. Caracal is a cat. Caracal is a cat, right? Least concern, right? So with this, so and we have covered earthworms, right? So very important information related to earthworms are given. See, earthworms are terrestrial worms, right, that occur virtually in all soils of the world in which the moisture and organic content are sufficient to sustain them, right? Moisture होना चाहिए, right? Then earthworm body is divided into ring-like segments. Some internal organs including excretory organs are duplicated in each segment, right? Ring like segments है, हर segment में organism है. They don't have lungs, they breathe through their skin. Lungs है नहीं, skin से ही सांस लेती है, right? They also lack eyes, है नहीं, so instead use receptors in their skin to sense light and touch. So skin, so their skin is very powerful, right? Earthworm have 5 hearts that pump blood through their bodies, right? 5 heart है, right? Their food consists of decaying plants and other organisms. As they eat, however, earthworm also ingest स्मॉल अमाउंट ऑफ सॉइल, सैंड एंड टाइनी पेबल्स, राइट। मिट्टी को भी खा सकती है, मिट्टी को भी पचा सकती है, राइट। earthworms are hermaphrodites, meaning an individual worm has both male and female reproductive organs. So this is again very unique feature, right? एक earthworm को both male and female reproductive organs है, right? Then benefits of earthworm break dead and decaying organic matter into rich humus soil, thus supporting plant growth, right? Earthworm release waste from its bodies called castings. Castings maintain many nutrients that the plants use. Then they dig tiny channels and make holes that aerate soil and improve drainage, right? Soil health help करती है, right? These are the important things with respect to earthworms, right? Their skin is very unique, right? And 5 hearts, right? ठीक है, eyes है नहीं, right? Then next is National Green Hydrogen Mission. See, while discussing about green hydrogen, we haven't discussed about green hydrogen mission, right? Like that, I have provided. So launched in 2023, right? So you can just read. See, this is 20,000 crore, right? And it is under Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, right? So India is putting lots of bet on green hydrogen, right? So you need to know about this site, right? Site will incentive domestic manufacturing of electrolyzers and the production of green hydrogen, right? We have discussed green hydrogen hubs would be created, right? You can just simply go through, right? And this is the National Green Hydrogen Mission, right? So with this, we are done with the core content of environment, right? So now we'll be focusing more on PT 365s and few questions जो भी इनमें cover नहीं हुआ तो we'll be covering it, right? So the core classes of environment are done, right?